What's up, everybody? I hope you're having a great day or morning or evening or whatever time you're watching this show. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Whattadud. I have my great co-hosts in CJ and Gabby, and we have an awesome guest on the show, Audrey Groves. Give her a hand clap, everybody. Oh, sorry.
Shout out.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing today? How you doing, CJ, Gabby, and Audrey?
I'm lovely.
I'm so good.
She brought it back. Yes. Yes.
I
CJ,
forgot last time.
Yeah, I said it in the show, and I was like, I guess this is not going to be her catchphrase after she hinted that it was. But okay.
It was Disney.
CJ, how you doing?
So I'm actually super happy because my girl Audrey's here, and I'm super excited to talk to her, hang out with her, have some fun, some laughs, like we used to do back in the day. I mean, we still do it. I mean, it's just not as often as when we used to do it. You know, that's kind of what happens in marriage, where you sign up for it, and then next you know, it's just a once a year thing for your birthday. So
You're married? I thought we had a thing going on.
We'll be back.
Not
We'll be
your
back to you
wife
in these
meeting
messages.
your
We'll be back.
mistress.
We'll be right back after these messages. Yeah, 100%. But CJ, yeah, man, I hope you're doing great. And Audrey, thank you for being on the show today. How are you feeling?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm feeling good. Vibing.
Okay.
Just feeling the atmosphere.
I'm not gonna say what we talked about off air, but I'm feeling really great about myself. I thought I did some interesting things in life, but I realized there's always people. You take one thing from this show, just realize you're not alone, and realize there's probably someone worse than you. And I realized that there is someone worse than me. You are not alone. But all right, guys, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about. I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to hear that part of my headphones. But we're going to talk about modern dating, our views and interesting point of views on that. And then we're going to kick it to the end. Episode 2 of The Last of Us that is on HBO Max. It drops on every Sunday.
Hopefully you don't forget this time.
Hopefully I do not forget this time. But before we start it off,
I got some shit to say about this next episode.
Hey, me too. Before we start it off, we're going to do a dud or dandy question. And CJ, you are on the clock. So, dud or dandy? We're going to kick it back to middle school.
Ooh, okay.
The Pacer test. Is that a dud or dandy? The Pacer test. Come on, son.
What a fucking dud. Okay, listen, I have no pace. All right, look at me. I've been a chunky boy all my goddamn life. All right, ain't no one who wants to sign up to fucking run. All right, exactly. Shut the fuck up. We're not like you, Christian. We're not like you. It's the dumbest shit ever.
Hey,
and then it's like, okay, cool. Who wants to sign up to go run? But then it's like, okay, most of the time you get your gym class right after lunch.
Oof.
Oh Lord.
You know what I mean? I went crazy at gym just now. I mean at lunch. You know what I mean? I had to double up with the milks because I was feeling myself. I'm a hungry boy. I'm growing.
Them chocolate milks.
You want me to go run and puke my brains out? Jesus Christ.
Shout out to Coach Cole.
What a dud.
No, she's not a dud. She
shout
was
out to Coach
dandy.
Cole.
Oh yeah, Coach
Holy
Cole.
crap, I ain't heard that name. Wait, was he? Never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing.
She was a great woman, and we all played on the same team. You and I.
Oh.
So, but she was an awesome coach.
You're not alone.
No, you're not. She was an awesome coach. So shout out to Coach Cole. Hopefully she watches this one day. Just know we owe a lot to you. All right, so Pacer test is a dud. Okay, now Gabby, dud or dandy? The DC universe has officially said Margot Robbie is not going anywhere, and she is staying as Harley Quinn. Is that a dud or a dandy?
That is a dandy. I love Margot Robbie, and I can actually watch those movies now, because if she was not going to be Harley Quinn, I was not going to be watching anything with Harley Quinn in it.
I understand
Dandy.
it. Heck yeah. I did some reading and I found out that the guy James Gunn said, "Yep, we're gonna keep her." And Jason Momoa is going to be he's not gonna return as Aquaman, but he's gonna return as another character in the DC universe, and I hope it's Lobo. And our dear friend Audrey, this a dud or a dandy?
Mm-hmm.
CJ, is he a dud or a dandy?
Damn,
I don't know.
Crazy.
He's a dandy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a
Rich
candy
flex.
dandy.
Oh,
That's a daddy.
Oh,
Hey, Jeff.
he definitely gonna be back.
I'm securing my spot.
Hey, there she goes. Got it.
All the right keywords.
Actually,
you got it.
I do have a question for Audrey. A dud or dandy Liquid Room before it turned to Varnish. A dud or dandy. This is such a very specific regional question, but
Very regional.
if you know, you know.
I don't know.
I'm going to say dandy, even though it was probably called the Liquid Room because of the amount of liquids coming out of people. It was still... It was an experience, you know?
It was. You had to be there. You had to be there.
You had to be there. One time, I pre-gamed with pre-workout and tequila, and then we went to Liquid Room. Yeah.
I've
never thought about doing that before, but that shit kind of sounds lit, though. I'm not even going to hold you.
If you like the feeling of every sensation being maximized, good or bad, and being able to dance until a point where your heart feels like it may actually stop at any given moment, but you also feel euphoria. It's kind of like ecstasy.
Audrey,
I had a past life.
You on strike 2 with me. The first you said,
I wanted to be your best friend right now. That's all I know.
One down.
That sounds great.
One down.
Yeah.
So Liquor Room was this club in Wilmington that is legendary for infamous.
Hold on. So I thought this was like a spill room in the place that y'all worked at, and y'all called it Liquid Room, and that's what I was thinking. That's why I was like, y'all on strike 2 with me. Y'all doing too much in this ice cream place.
No, relax. I was gonna tell you what's gonna happen. So yeah, we're gonna erase that strike from the record here.
Yeah, it's erased. It's erased.
So it actually was right across the street from our job, though. And so it was times we would just hop, skip, and jump over right after work. But it used to be, I guess it still is. I'm not sure. It's an 18 and up club.
It is now not.
So
for reasons.
It's not anymore, but it used to be. And that place was dangerous. Because, I mean, those lines would be long. Obviously, one of the places that, all these new college kids could go to. But it was 3 spots. It was Liquid Room. It's Ibiza, and it's what was it? What was it? Honky Tonk? Not Honky Tonk. What was it? Little
that's here.
That Cowboy. They shut it down. It shut down.
Rebellion?
No, it's City Limits, and that also was Marine Central, where you will get hit on by every Marine possible, every rank, sergeant, lieutenant, all of them. But I ain't gonna lie. Before, when I first moved to Wilmington, 2017, I went to Liquid Room, and I was like, cool. This girl was hitting on me. I was like, oh my god, I was like, damn, I got my fit going crazy. I thought I was feeling myself to the 10. And then she was like, hey, buy me a drink. I was like, maybe. But then I looked at her hand, she's trying to fucking remove the mark from her hands and shit so she can get liquor. Crazy times. I did not supply, if that's what you're asking.
You might just committed to a felony, because I don't know if you want to do that, brother. You know where that story is going. Well, hopefully, when we come up there and visit, we can all go there. Because I need to try this place out. Liquid what?
It's not the same anymore. It's not the same.
Is
it better?
Revamping. they made it a lot. I'd say classier. They definitely got rid of
My type
the
of
Gosh.
yeah.
Perfect.
There's no more like ALE law enforcement staking it out constantly,
Yeah.
and like
True.
people falling in bushes outside. So it's good.
This
It's
sound
good.
like a whole episode. Y'all sound like a whole
Falling in
episode of
bushes
Jersey
is like
Shore.
fun to watch.
It's
Damn, y'all are like
interesting.
I should ask you about Goodfellas. Who do you think Goodfellas is a dud or a dandy? Because I feel like Goodfellas kind of is like hit or miss now.
They recently came under fire for having
Literally?
a dress code that was deemed very specific towards certain people.
Oh.
So they
I
have
know
been
what she talking
canceled.
about. I know
They
what she
have been
talking about.
canceled. So
Damn.
no,
That's tough.
it was oddly specific. Like no jerseys, no holes in anything you're wearing, shirts, pants, anything.
That sounds
No
like every
gaudy
establishment in Charleston.
jewelry. Any establishment in Charleston.
Yeah, that
No
sounds like
body
Yeah.
jewelry.
No gaudy jewelry. So jewelry deemed
Oh.
extra. None of that. It is like an Excel sheet. It is a long
That's wild.
list. Yeah.
That's insane. I don't know if I could follow yet. Oh.
Yeah, no.
We just
I
go to
love
Coglins
these
now.
Yeah.
body
Coglins better
jewelry.
anyway.
For a place that has cages for the women to dance in, it seems a little restrictive.
That is true.
I'm intrigued.
That
I'm
is true.
intrigued.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
I'm intrigued.
It's
It can be good.
When we
I'm
go.
not gonna lie. I've had some memories at Goodfellas, that's for sure. We'll get into that another
amen.
time.
All right, guys, we're gonna get this show on the road here. So we're gonna talk about modern dating, and I guess how this is gonna go. It's gonna go interesting, and I'm afraid but excited at the same time. So I guess I will say a point, and we can talk about it, or we don't have to. And then, ladies, whoever wants to go next, and then we can just talk about it. It's gonna be an interesting show, and I'm excited to see your thoughts on some things from the male perspective, and I'm definitely honestly very intrigued and want to know things from the woman perspective 100%. I want to hear your thoughts and dive deep into things. But one thing I have
Possibly your prayers.
yeah, 100%. One thing I do not like about modern dating is how you really can't take a person on a dinner date anymore. You can't, because you don't know they're trying to get free food anymore. You just don't. Because there have been plenty of times I've taken people out on dinner dates and then gone. Don't know nothing. Like, you just invisible. Don't know where they went. So you can't do that. What you laughing over there for, big dog? Like you trying to hide your laughs. I can't see you. Like you're not on the screen. I understand that, brother.
I have a question. Brother? I have a question.
Okay. All right.
If I don't know if you have a specific number, but how many dinner dates have you been on that you haven't received that person since that bill has come?
The bill. I like how that's what you were in my pockets. I understand, brother. I appreciate that. You're a good friend. I understand that. No joke. I probably say 6 or 7. It's like now when I go on dates, I don't. I'll say a brewery, or I'll say like a fun date to go on, like an outing to do. Then it's like, so then if they're like, oh, I'm so hungry. Oh, I already ate. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You sound like a monster.
You haven't heard of it.
You sound like a monster.
I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Because the thing is, I feel like me personally, as a man, I'm going to pay for the first date. If I asked you on the date, I'm going to pay for it.
Oh,
and
brother.
I feel like some
Way
people
to be so traditional. Grow up.
Oh, brother. If I asked her out, I'm going to pay. Why would I let her pay if I asked her out?
If she, for sure.
I'm about to say, come on, what you want? Teach me your ways. If you got the other person paying and you ask it.
But look, if she asks you out, right? But what if it's what if it's a mutual idea, right? So she's like, but she selects the place. Who pays? If she select the place, you know what I'm saying? Look, I'm okay with paying the first date. Don't get me wrong, but at the same
You just told me to step up and get with the times. Now you're okay with paying for the first date. Pick a side.
You said you always do on the first date. I said
because
I'm okay with
ask.
it. I'm
Because
okay.
I always
So
ask.
you always reaching. Hey, it's sometimes
Because if you
where
don't
I think
reach, you're
people
never gonna be
ask
able to
me
grab
out.
what's in front of you.
Well, sometimes the people grab me.
I
Sometimes it
love
happens
that
to
you
me
guys
too.
thought this was gonna be heated between guys and girls when really it's just heated between you guys.
Yeah, I don't get it, bro. Like,
You haven't
I
even
mean,
made it to
And
the
we're
my
just
thing is, I
sitting
like
here
to
like
ask
letting
people.
you assume.
I like to go on dates. I like to ask people out. And, I want to get it over with, meet you face to face, see how you are, see how the conversation goes. I ain't gonna be time to waiting for you. Why? If you free and I'm free, let's go do it. If you're not, okay, I'll wait till you. And if you reject it and be like, oh, I can't this time because I'm doing such and such and such, I'll let you ask me next time. I ain't got time. No, come on, brother. Then you're gonna jump down my throat and say, I need to get with the time. Or you're gonna say, I'll pay for the first date. Confusing the hell.
I said I'm open to pay. See, look, you always exclude words from me, Christian, because you never listen. That's the problem with you now, Christian. All you men are like this are the same, okay?
Don't you categorize me like that ever again in your life. How about that?
You're trying to categorize me. You're trying to categorize me.
Never.
Crazy.
I would never categorize.
How do you feel about the
king.
first
You are
date,
a
Audrey
king.
and
You
Gabby?
are a king. You are
How
a
do you
king.
feel about that?
You
Is
are
it our
a king.
turn now?
You don't got to tell
Is it
me
our
something.
turn?
That period.
Maybe.
You can go first because I know my answer is gonna be a little downer. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
It's fine.
I feel like today's gonna be a good therapy session for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Free? I can take that.
For sure, yeah, I won't charge you anything.
So,
He asked y'all out, and now he ain't gonna pay. That's crazy.
well, it's because he's got his wife and his girlfriend here. Of course, he's got to pay for both of us.
yeah, he's from Jacksonville.
With today's inflation.
Oh, you're from Jacksonville? But all right, yeah. So, what are y'all thoughts about what I said? Not going on dinner dates, not being the first date, because I feel like.
Or how do you
most
feel about
people-
dinner dates in general? Let's just start with there.
I personally, I'm a fan of any sort of interaction with someone where it's one-on-one. I can sit down, I can get to know you. I also am one of those people that subscribes to the idea of how you treat the waitstaff is a good reflection of kind of who you are as a person.
Yum.
If I see you freaking out over every little thing or being dismissive to the waitstaff, that is a very good indication to me that maybe that's the first and last. So I like it. I am also one of those people that is very like either let's go 50-50 or kind of like what Christian was saying, whoever asks, like if you're asking me, you can do it. If I'm asking you, I'll pay for it. I'm not, I don't think there's a strict like he needs to pay, like I feel like it's very situation dependent.
I agree.
So
I agree. Excuse me. I hate first dates. I hate getting to know somebody. I hate that first talking stage.
You heard it here
like
first, guys.
I-
Men, you better ask her. Don't say, hey, can we go on a first date? Say, hey, can we go on a third? Skip the first, skip the second, say go on a third. Can we go on a
I
third?
think I know what she's really saying, but I'm not going to be that person to say it out loud. I think we can read between the lines.
No, but I hate that like awkward small talk because I'm an awkward person in general. And so it's like, especially if they're awkward too, when you got two awkward people, it's just we're sitting there and it's like, so what's your favorite color? Like, I don't fucking care what your favorite color is. Like, I just don't know what to say. Like, I hate first dates. I hate them.
I know this.
So if it
This
was
is what
like,
Gabby wants to say. Tell me when.
you're kidding. I'm starting over.
All right. Check, please. Check.
The card thing on TikTok.
Just tell me. Okay. So I'm gonna go through the kinks. I'm gonna go through the kink index cards. Just tell me which one best suits you. Okay.
Degrade you?
Yeah.
No. Veins, no.
Feet.
Furry,
Okay.
no.
No.
Feet.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right.
Slap me in the face. Spit in my mouth. No.
Oh no.
Ooh, you hesitated on that one, sir. Spit in my, you hesitated. Right? Okay. Yeah.
Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. That was a whole song about it. So don't act surprised. We all know what song I'm talking about. At least the girls do.
Very true. Very true.
See,
I know what you're
I'm
talking
glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here.
Jesus.
Even if I am 2 strikes in.
Yeah, well,
you're one strike.
Those don't
You're
even
only
count
one
for
strike.
me.
You're one.
One.
There's one strike in.
Just
It's not
like
even against you. It's
Christian,
against
to
the
be a man
person.
to try to control another woman. Crazy.
All right, man. What we're not gonna do is just act like I'm. No, that's what we're not gonna do. No. I do not control. I don't do any of that. I'm a very nice, sweet, caring person.
You can be nice and sweet all you want.
Don't wreck my
public,
label like that,
right? We see so many guys like that in public. Be like, they so nice, he was so sweet, but then behind the scenes, get over there, bitch.
You did that a little too well. I was gonna say behind closed doors, I like to be degraded or something.
I watch a lot of.
There's a new side of you. Yeah, you watch too. I don't know what you've been watching lately, but put it back, please. So you don't like first dates because of the awkwardness. You think that it depends on who asks who, and but you like the first date because you get to see, especially if it's dinner one, you get to see how they treat the people around them, handling their food and doing nice things for you. And then CJ agrees with me, but disagrees with me at the same time. Sure, got it. Who else has a point that they want to bring up on why like their views on modern dating? Who's up next? Who wants to go next?
Ooh, I'll go next. Okay. So I saw this article, aka a TikTok, that said 80% of people find their partners on dating apps these days. And I personally hate dating apps. And it goes back to the whole first date thing. Like, I hate small talk. I also hate being like, hey, you got a nice ass. Like, don't come at me with the first thing saying that. Like, yes.
Okay, so many questions here. I do agree with the point that you're making. I don't mean to interrupt as well, but on average times, how many times do you get that comment? Because I get it quite a lot myself.
You get it on yours?
Yeah, for sure, for me.
Oh yeah. Let me see here. Should we go through some of my Tinder for opening lines? Because my favorite thing to do.
Yes, show and tell.
My favorite thing to do. I get on Tinder when I'm just like a little bored. Maybe a little like, and I pretend like I'm a queen and I'm like, banish. He can stay. Banishment. Because let's be honest, in Tennessee, a lot of the men look the same.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell by the first picture. No. So, let's see here.
Say their name and occupation.
So this guy's social security number is.
What's that mean? It means what you do. Wow, I'm a PIMP. If you don't know now, you know now. Have y'all seen that video?
No.
Oh my! You haven't seen that video? Oh, brother.
Hunter said, "God damn, the cloud's big AF." First line.
Clouds are big.
God damn, son. What you do with all that ass?
So swamp possum with
just,
your mom. Lord.
I think that's a good enough example. We'll leave it at that. So to answer your question, yeah, we get those a lot.
Oh, brother, I need to use that one.
Please don't.
That's
okay. So
80% of people meet their spouse through dating apps, so that gives me 20% chance of finding somebody because I don't like dating apps, and I want to.
You also don't like first dates, so how are you gonna find somebody?
I don't know. And that's the thing. I'm a Disney kid and I love a rom-com. And if I'm just wanting to meet my person, you know, like walking down the street and oh no, we bump into each other and we spill coffee and oh no, and then like we just start talking and then it's fine. 20% chance of doing that now. Ridiculous.
Well, you
but
got
that
to
was
do a
one
lot
of
of
my
walking.
points as well. Yeah, because that was one of my points as well. I feel
I'm
like
always
in
got
today's in today's society, like movies that people, more so girls, have seen growing up or stuff that's on TV now, like they have like that mindset of like they see movies where the people do bump into each other, or like I was running down and I tried to get into the elevator, but then he opened it and then like we met in the elevator or whatever may happen. And
That'd
it's
be
just
a
like,
good one too.
but I'm just saying like that's what tricks people's mind. They like that's what they need. It's like if you want to find your person, just go find your person. You have to put yourself. The more you put yourself out there, the more chances of you trying. Here we go. Here we go.
I walk in all the elevators.
Here we go.
I wait till the doors are about to close so that he can stop it for me. I walk down the street with my Starbucks.
Like,
where's my husband? I don't see.
That's what I'm saying.
They're like, are you not going to open it for me?
I just feel like that's
rude.
I'm like
that.
She's like, no, you know what she's saying? You know what she's saying? She's like, okay, I want you to yell out when the elevator gets to your size, okay? When it's opening up. No? Well, the whole door is open now, sir. You got to start over.
We got to start.
There? Okay. I can't fit through that, but we're going to try it.
every time Gabby gets off of an elevator, she's just like crying. It's bawling her eyes out.
She carries a
Didn't
stack
happen
of
this
books.
time.
Oh my gosh, she has my
wherever
books.
she goes.
Oh no. Struggling. Oh
my
With
God.
the slightest of bumps.
no.
And she's
The
going to
wind
help her
blows.
out.
The wind
She has her
just
fake
blows
glasses
in her
on.
hair. Oh no.
You're in the middle of the grocery store. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
My glasses. I can't find my glasses.
Apples all fell down. Oh no.
Oh,
Listen.
brother. But
Y'all,
but I
when I
truly
meet
feel
my
like-
husband picking up apples in the Walmarts, y'all.
Ew. First of all, if you find a husband that picks apples at the Walmart, you need to find help. He's not the
Okay,
one.
I feel attacked.
All right.
I feel
He's not
attacked.
the one.
He is not
I
him.
feel attacked. I literally just bought some apples at Walmart today. I'm
He is
feeling
not
You
attacked.
need to see now. I think this conversation is going to be very helpful for you. It might be comes off a little bit mean, but sometimes the truth hurts. But first of all, you need to rethink your choices of finding fruit. Okay, let's start with there. I think you're not going to find the fruit that you want to find at Walmart. Like you're not going to find the guys that you want to date on Tinder. All right, this is what we're going to do here. We're going to wake up early on a Saturday morning. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the farmer's market. You see that? You're going to get you a reusable bag here because we also care about the planet around here.
Got him.
All
I already
right.
got
So
him.
then, if you find you a nice little boy who's at the farmer's market, he obviously cares. He's smart because he wants to help local, and he has his own reusable bag. Plus, he's healthy, conscious, maybe a little smart, maybe bring a little pizzazz to the conversation instead of looking at big old ass. I don't know what's bigger, this apple or your peach. I don't know. So we got to start there.
You know what? I'm gonna take that advice. The only hard part
That's what I'm here
is
for.
waking up early on a Saturday morning. That's the only thing that's gonna be stopping.
that's
me.
true.
You know, everybody
That's
wants to be
true.
great until it's time to be.
Listen,
Ain't that
as
right,
long as I
Christian?
can wear a sun hat, as long as it just still feels like a movie. I'll have my sun hat and sunglasses, and I'll be in my
Big
own little
bag
world.
like this.
Yeah, and then he sees me and he's like, "Wow, that girl's the most beautiful girl." But I don't notice him yet, of course.
But you
And
hit him with your hat.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh, my hat flies off," and then he catches it for me.
We gotta
I got
stop.
it.
We gotta stop. This you're making the situation worse. Okay, you're making the situation worse.
We're not. Somebody picks up my hat. You guys won't be. Like,
Oh my.
He was very gorgeous to me.
Oh my goodness. But like I said, I put that in my notes. I just feel like certain things have groomed you to think that you need to be a certain
Ooh,
way.
don't use
or
that word.
A guy needs to be a certain way or whatever it may be. That's just what I think. And I feel like it's not realistic, like in our today's time. Like my parents, they met
Why can't it
while
be?
out. Actually, in an
yeah, why
elevator.
can't it be?
Oh.
I'm with you. Why can't it be?
I'm not saying it can't be, but there's so many options of people nowadays are so afraid to speak in front of like a person. So many people are afraid to. A lot of men are afraid to walk up to a woman and speak his mind and say things. But then also he might not be afraid to go up to speak to a woman, but that woman is so closed-minded or such a stuck-up person and rejects him to where he doesn't even want to do that anymore. And it's just like this whole thing has happened so many times. You see the circle. What you laughing at, bro? I can't. What you laughing at, CJ? Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I'm not laughing at anything. I'm listening. This is how I listen.
No.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. That's not safe. But I'm just saying, like, there's just so many other chances of you. If I can tell you, hey, you want $1 million, right? And you have this one way that you want to get this $1 million, but I give you 5 other ideas to get the million. You're only gonna stick to yours, or you're gonna try all 5 because you don't know. It gives you more of a chance to find what you want. And I understand you may not like it, but I'm just saying sometimes you gotta get out of your comfort zone to do what you want to do.
Talk to a woman in person.
100%. But what if they don't feel comfortable talking to a woman in person?
What if I don't feel
comfortable?
The same way you don't. I'm saying, but the same way you don't. But the same way that you said you don't want to talk to people on the first date. But that's what I don't understand. You don't want to go on a first date, but you want someone to come up and talk to you. But you said you're awkward. That don't make no sense to me.
Hey, Christian.
But then
I'm just saying,
my person, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, she's awkward. Person? That's so cute." See, I need somebody who thinks my awkward and quirkiness is cute.
Here we go. Attack a Christian. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say something, Christian, that is you're gonna get, but this might not be received by everybody. Women don't know what they want.
100%.
But they know what they want.
100%.
No. I don't know what I want. I'll be the first to admit that.
100%. But I'm just saying, if she wants to find her person, I feel like she should put herself out there on those dating apps to put herself out there. Like I said, why put yourself? If someone told me they didn't give me $1 million, or I want $1 million, and they said they'll have one way.
Put your pussy lips on IG Live, and I'll give you $1 million. Sorry. You kept saying that. Yes, Audrey, go ahead.
Forget it. Jesus Christ.
We might not know what we want, but we firmly understand what we do not want.
That's true. And we know how we want to feel.
Yes.
Because you can be with like, you can have like 3 of your boyfriends. Okay, and they're all completely different. No, not at the same time. I'm saying like in different stages of your life. In different stages. No, you can have 3 different boyfriends, and they all were like completely different, but they still made you feel the same way, and that's what we're looking for.
You want to feel special. You want to feel like Sleeping Beauty.
I do.
Man, I don't even want to feel special. Just listen to me when I'm talking, dude. Like, just take it.
But also the truth.
Like,
also the truth. Maybe make some eye contact at this point. That'd be great.
Twice a day. Like,
so, how much is too much eye contact? That's the question I have. What is too much eye contact? Because obviously, there's eye contact to a certain. Mm-hmm. See, I don't like the eye contact. I'm like really weird about it. I'm working on it. Oh,
I do. But okay. I will say,
are you talking about just like in regular life, or are we talking about like
just like in normal conversations with somebody? Times. Like when they're talking to me, I will look at them because I want them to know that I'm actually listening. Exactly what she said. Because like when I feel like people are making eye contact with me, I'm like, oh, they're listening. So I've been pointing to everybody, but like, so I make a lot of eye contact because I want those people to know I'm listening to them. But then it comes off as like me being too interested, I think, and that also gets me in trouble. So I think there is a fine line between too much eye contact. I just don't know what that is.
That's good.
Because I'm like, and then what? And then it's like they're like, oh my gosh, she loves me. When really, I'm just listening to their story about whatever.
Because you want to
wow, this chick is crazy.
Do you ever like have like almost like checkpoints when you're looking at someone talking and you're like sitting in your head listening and you're like, I need to look away now. It's been
all the time. I'm like, I need to look away. Yep.
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay. It's like
I do that all the time because I know I make too much eye contact. Yes, I'll be like, what's that over there? Yeah.
Check phone for time.
Yeah. What's my watch saying? Okay. Yeah. Time to stand up.
Crazy.
Got it.
Yeah.
I have checkpoints when if I'm like not listening, and I'd be like, yeah.
Oh, I do that
That's
too.
crazy.
You know what gets me?
Word,
The
word.
funniest one. The funniest one. People are like, "I'll say something and it's really funny," and 5 other people have laughed, and this person says, "Oh, that's funny." Clearly, it's not. If you didn't laugh, clearly it's not. If you did not laugh,
It's
it's
because they
not
weren't
funny.
listening.
Exactly. Oh, that's funny. And then I catch myself doing. I'm like, "Fuck!" Like this guy probably worked all day on this video just to get on my good side, and he used it. And I messed up his day.
You're so
saying, "Oh,
funny,
that's
Christian.
funny."
I think you're the funniest person I've met, Christian, to be honest.
Why are you attacking me today? Like, what did I do to you today?
I did.
What
are
did
you
I do,
talking
brother?
about?
No, brother, I want to know, what did I do to you today? We got on here. We were
So,
just having a nice conversation.
Overall, do we think modern dating is at a point right now is bad or good?
Bad.
Eh,
Sorry, did I say that too fast?
no, because I'm in that boat.
I think it's terrible.
It's so bad.
I think
I think
it's
it's
bad.
terrible.
So, with that being said, right? What do we think contributes to this? We kind of talked about it a little bit already, but so like obviously, I think one of the biggest reasons that really digressed everybody, where I feel like even though we're in the best spot before, but we already got there, but we kind of accelerated to where we're at now, is the panorama, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because people
Everyone
got used
locked
to
up.
not talking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And people really liked it, myself included. Sometimes it's like, damn,
Oh, listen,
hey,
I
I
miss
can put
those
this mask
times.
on, walk
Oh,
in the
yeah.
store. You know what I mean? Don't get too close to me. I'll murder you. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like it was cool. And I think people got comfortable. And I think now we're kind of that period of time where we're like, okay, we're getting back to like, okay, this is how we used to talk to people. Okay, am I at a good distance here? Is this good here? But wait, not
Mhm.
too close, right? And then
Mhm.
it's like literally having conversations, like going back to work, like not working from home, but like having conversations that is like I can like mute my like take off my screen and be like, okay, this or mute myself, you know what I mean? Like and take
Yeah,
my
yeah.
time. And it is suck. It does suck, right? Like especially like starting off with dating sites, right? And it's already super superficial, right? Like, damn, she bad. Holy fuck, she got a fat ass. Or god damn, look at them bitties. Or oh, she kind of looks
Clouds.
weird.
Clouds.
You know what I mean? Clouds, big clouds.
Big
Sheesh.
clouds.
Her eyes are just through this huge.
But see, the bad thing about that is like me and Christian were talking about this earlier. Like when you post a picture, that's not what you look like all the time.
Facts.
So
But
you
have
best
to understand that
believe.
mentally, though. You have to understand that mentally.
Yeah, but people don't. That's
Exactly.
like
100%.
they'll see your picture and then they'll think, oh, this girl's a supermodel. And then when you
Let me
come
tell you.
in like a normal Tuesday,
Shawty, she
it's
a
like
10.
Let me
who's
tell
this
you my
girl,
trick.
you know?
Well, no, my trick. What I do? Oh, she looks good on this on this dating app. Cool.
Oh.
And I get her, bro. Why you keep doing that to me? Everybody else,
A bucket of water. I'm trying to help your point, man.
bucking
I'm
the
insisting. I am Steve Nash right now. Okay, you're supposed to be Amari Stoudemire. You're supposed to take that pick and roll and take it to the hoop.
I'm a shooter. I don't do that. That's not me. No, I'm in the corner.
Of course you are.
You're
a shooter,
I'm in the
huh?
corner. I'm a shooter. So what I do is I see someone, I match someone on whatever dating app. We get their Instagram. Looking at their Instagram, like, oh yeah, she looks good. I'm going to the tag photos because you didn't post those. Other people posted those of you.
Sneaky.
Yeah, let me go in there.
Sneaky.
Like, oh, that's what you look like. Oh, okay, all right, okay. I could do. Is this what you look like most of the time? Okay, cool.
But also, I'm definitely looking at my tagged photos after this because now I'm paranoid. What's on there? Just look like a dog on there. Yeah.
Because you didn't post those. You did not post those. So you gotta, as I look up Gabby's Instagram right now, see the tag photos.
Oh man.
Oh God. Well,
I'm just
now
But I
kidding.
do want to answer your
Okay.
question from earlier though, with the first dates. I think I was a unicorn in terms of like when I was in Wilmington, I did like to do first dates, like secretly, of course. Like no one really knew about my secret weird things that I did. It is funny because like I do embrace the weirdness, I embrace the awkwardness because I think it's just like it's so pure. because it's like fuck, like this shit is awkward as fuck, but it's like it also gives me comedy. So it's kind of, I'm a little fucked up with it because I do like I see a situation, I'm in a situation, I'm like, damn, this is so awkward. I don't hear anything she's saying right now, but I cannot wait to tell this story later. Like this story is going to be so epic, and maybe that's just me being fucked up. But like then I gave it a shot, and then it's like okay, maybe I'm feeling, but I'll still go out on dates.
But did you give it actually a true shot if you're thinking on the date how like this is instead of trying to make? Never mind.
Doesn't everybody do that though? Like I literally just had lunch with somebody not too long ago, and the whole time I was sitting there like, this is so awkward. This is so awkward. This is so awkward. I couldn't tell you what we talked about. Could not tell you what we talked about, but I was like, oh my gosh.
Because a lot of this bullshit. Like I say a lot of bullshit, but it's like it's a lot of like you gotta. It's like passing a test to get to the real person.
Right?
Oh,
that's and then sometimes such a good way of putting it.
You know, and then it's like, but sometimes they give you the answers too fast. And like, oh fuck, hold up, wait a minute, I didn't even get to this part yet. And it's like, okay, I don't know if I'm ready for this part already. Like, hold up now. But it's like, then sometimes
cue the previous conversation that we had earlier.
But if you give me a little something that's like, okay, give me a little taste, I want more. Then it's like, cool, let's do this again sometime, right? And then nowadays, like this thing is too, right? You got inflation, you got high ass prices, and then it's like, hey, like all these restaurants cost so much money. But it's like we all want the same thing. Well, some not all want something, but some people want this common goal. We're working towards that. If I can send a couple messages, a couple emojis, and next thing you know, you're knocking at my front door, and you know we watching Tiger King, and we're not really watching it. You know, that's the goal. That's like sometimes also what people want. And so I think that's the thing too. I think a lot of people wants and needs are changing in dating. I think more people. One thing I think nowadays more people are open with their sexuality and they're open with their kinks and they're open with what they want. And sometimes people just want more sex. Sometimes people just want a physical situationship, not an actual relationship. And that's okay. And I think that's something that we weren't really grown with. We haven't seen that on TV. We haven't seen it on television, so people don't really understand how to process certain things like that. And I think there's more than just single and in a relationship now. And I think that's what the nuance of modern dating is nowadays. Because it's like, hey, like, to be quite honest, like I don't know what I want. A lot of people are not trying to have kids right away, you know, but they want to get close. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people maybe don't have the needs to be in a relationship. Relationships are expensive. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up. You know what I mean? With inflation, chocolate, a dinner, expectations. I don't got all
flowers
that.
Either.
Hey,
we're breaking up
are
on
so
the 13th.
Expensive.
Yeah. Oh God.
We get back together on the 15th.
I can't believe you said that to me.
Yeah. How dare you get out? And then 15th be like, I'm sorry.
My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I think.
But yeah, I think this is cool.
CJ, like about you brought up a really good point with the whole movies and the idealization. And I think something that's really interesting that we have now that hasn't really been experienced before is you see the idealization of relationships now, not just on movies, but on social media. Every feed you scroll through. So it's like if you watched a rom-com, but for 30 seconds, 100 times a day, every day.
Yep.
And you're just seeing the highlights of everyone's relationship.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
People grow up watching this stuff and they think like this is how it's supposed to be, and it's like, no, or
but you
that's
can't
not
get
how it's
away
supposed.
From that. Like how
you don't have to get away
from
it. No, you don't have to get away from it. But like I said, if you have your one way, right, of getting that $1 million, and I give you 5 other ways that you could potentially do it, I never took away yours. I just added to it. I never said give up your way of that you want to do things. I'm saying add to it. Why you want to be? Why would you want to just close yourself off and be just good at one thing when you could be great at one thing and you could be great at many other things? It's just like having skills in your life.
Like, but what if you've had this like fantasy or dream or whatever you want to call it your whole life to meet somebody some way, and that's what you want? Why not just stick to your way?
Let me tell you why. Because when you do that, you could be missing the blessing from somewhere else.
But if the
just saying you could be
blessing's
missing
really for
blessings.
you, wouldn't it just come to you anyways?
But what if that's not the way that you should be meeting? But what if that way never happens? I'm just saying it won't happen. I'm saying what if the way never happens? But then you think back and you're like, dang, this person was actually
He was
I could've
right
got
there in
down
front
with,
of you this whole
in front
time.
of you. But just because he didn't bump into you or hold the thing or whatever it may be, or maybe he was so, just like how you said, maybe he was just so, not you to say this, but maybe he was just so nervous at the time because he was so into you, thought you were the most beautiful girl in the world, but fumbled words. That happens a lot to people. But you're gonna base that one interaction off something else, off that? That's just different. There's a way I want to meet somebody too.
But see,
I would love
believe
to.
like if it's truly meant for you, it will come to you.
But
You know what I
meant
mean?
for you
So
and
if you
wanting
like
are
you
two
meet
different
him,
things.
To you or
if you
on
meet
you?
him,
Jesus.
Sorry.
what date?
I gotta go.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's been cool.
I should
She
call
just-
her.
CJ, you're on strike one now. You're on strike one now. You're on strike one now.
Strike me out, Daddy.
I got no problem doing that.
I don't even remember.
Right?
What I was
You're
saying.
strike one, Christian.
But I'm just saying that like I get that's like that's your way that you meant for it to be. But I'm saying like, what if it's not supposed to be that way? Your want and how things should happen are two different things. I can want to be a millionaire all day, every day. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Oh, I remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, okay. So say you meet somebody. Well, no, it's going along to what you're saying, and
Okay.
it's my counterpoint.
Okay.
But I got distracted by the lovely question that we had. But so okay, you were like, so what if you do meet him and he fumbles his words and it's awkward, and then you just blah blah blah. Okay, so, but if that's the person that's actually meant for me, wouldn't the universe bring him around back some other time for me to be like, oh my gosh?
No. Because a lot of women are harsh on men. I'm just being real. A lot of women are harsh on men, and a lot of men are harsh on women as well. Do not get me wrong. A lot of men are harsh on women, and a lot
Everyone
of women
is
are
harsh.
harsh on men.
That's what we're trying to say.
Everyone is
saying.
harsh and everyone sucks.
People, let's just be all inclusive here.
People are harsh on people. And
People suck.
your first interaction with someone can tell, like you said, like on the first date, they say something weird or wrong, like you're gonna judge that person. And maybe when they said something, that's not the way they meant it, but you took it that way, and now it's like you know, cross that person out on your list.
I think when you say judge, you're trying to make it too final. Because obviously we're judge everything people do, but whether or not that is the ultimate, like, oh, like that's it, or if it's a big enough red flag, then it's like, okay, no, but like we're obviously judging. Like, you know, people say it's a judgment free zone, but like, you know, not really judging, but people take into account everything that you say. So it's whether that's going to be enough that move you off of that person or not. That's the question. And I think that's kind of the word. I feel like that's getting a little.
Okay, I'll take that back. I'm just saying the way that you want to meet somebody, the bump in the shoulder, the elevator, or whatnot. What if you do meet that person, or what if you meet that person
I'm gonna start bumping every girl I see.
Oh my gosh, do it, please. Then you'll find like some random girl like me that's like, oh my gosh. And then
finally,
I've been waiting for it my whole life.
The blouse just opens up.
Her glasses, she takes her glasses off and her hair down. It's like, and then she's hot. Yeah.
Or she has a mouthful of her hair because she didn't do it right. You don't know.
But hey, he might be into that. He said he likes the awkward and cute. So if she's like, he might be
CJ is a bun and glasses girl is him. Hair in a bun and glasses is for you. No?
Wear hair in bun and glasses next pod. I'm just kidding.
If you've ever seen Star Wars, you know, you get my drift. You know?
Oh, those kind of buns.
I mean, just examples of not like.
Ladies,
anyways,
get your Princess Leia cosplay out.
whoa, hey. Link in the bio, okay?
No.
I think, okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about another part of Nah.
Oh no, let's get into it.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue on to this topic. All right, so obviously we can agree that social dating apps aren't really the best place to meet people, right? So now where, right? Let's answer this question for people. Let's give people a guide. Where would you think, or where should you try to meet a person, right? I said farmers markets, Target. Target.
What section? What aisle?
Candles.
Well, I'm not trying to give all my secrets away, but there's a few aisles you could go on. Obviously, you should go to maybe the shampoo aisle. The candles aisle is where is that though? Candles is probably that's the top spot. Yeah.
Because then, what if you guys go to pick up the same candle, and then you're like,
"Oh my god,
my favorite scent is pine too." And then, I can romanticize just about anything, so keep it going.
Oh, brother.
I love how fact that I think Christian is such a traditional type person and not a dreamer. It's not shit talk. I'm just stating a thing. Relax.
I'm not a dreamer. I'm not a dreamer.
I'm not saying you're not a dreamer.
You're a realist.
You just said
you're a realist.
I'm saying, guys, no, it's not. I'm saying what I have. Do I have a way of meeting somebody in my mind? Yes, I do, 100%. But am I going to close my mind and think I have to be at that spot every day for the rest of my life until I find that person? No.
Okay,
no.
What's your ideal way of meeting somebody?
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Let's hear it, because I said mine. Now say yours. What would be your ideal way?
2 ways. At a comedy show by myself, she's by herself. Somehow,
who goes to a comedy show by themselves, psycho? I'm sorry.
This is his dream.
I'm sorry.
This is his dream. No.
Continue.
Go on. Comedy show, and you
next
see there. You both are laughing.
Next go.
She grabs your arm out of just she was like,
he's.
Forget it.
And he looks at her.
They make eye contact when they're laughing.
If you make eye contact with someone while they're laughing and you're laughing at the same time, it's kind of weird.
No, that's a thing. Whenever you're laughing, you look at the person you want to like you the most. Did you know that? That's a psychological fact. So when you're in a crowd of people and you're laughing, people look at the person who either they feel closest to or they want to feel closest to. So next time, see who's looking at you.
Charles, when someone's laughing and you're laughing, you make eye contact, you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you just stop?
What do you do?
I don't know. It's just
is that how you show you don't like them?
You've never made eye contact with somebody while laughing?
I just don't like eye contact. I just
clearly we've learned that today.
It's just
that intimidated me when I met you first, because you make so little eye contact that it's almost avoidant. And I was like, where are you looking?
What's this guy's problem?
But now
I think I'm trying.
It's an endearing part of you. It's I like that now because I know you're in your head. You're thinking your quips up. You're vibing.
Yeah. The secret.
So a conversation between me and CJ would be me just staring at him, and he's like.
I can feel her eyes through my soul right now.
Yeah.
She's killing me. Yeah. I check in. You got to check in, of course, right before.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you check in is when I'm like, oh, don't look. So it's just we're never looking.
Always constant. I do think.
Anyway.
So okay. So to kind of confess my dirty little secrets. I think a place I always thought would be the coolest to meet somebody is a grocery store, because I think I've always seen that. I am a secret fan of rom-coms. I watched a lot of them, and so it's okay, meet someone at the grocery store, or meet someone at the gym, and then trying to it's you think they're really cool, but then you're trying to go every single week on that same date at the same time to see that person again.
See,
You
that's
know?
like, I love that. That's so cute. Like, to me, like, if somebody is trying that hard to see me in the same spot because they just thought I was like so cute, that is so cute. Why would you not want that? Like, why would you not want that?
But how far does that go on that spectrum, right? Like how
Okay, well, we're not
when it
going
starts
to
to go
like
to
Joe from
cute
You,
to
like where he's stalking you. But like if it's like your chance meeting, like, oh,
For
I know
sure.
they take the trash out at 1:00. I'm gonna go outside. You know what I mean? Like,
because I mean, there's people who can like Google you, right? Like they can find out a little bit, especially if they find out just enough information about you, and then they'll just straight track you down, and then like maybe they'll happen to because now think about this: You is out, right? Like not you, but like the show You is out to
yeah.
where now this shit, like how we said, like all these rom-coms are getting in people's minds about how they want to meet people. We might have just opened up a whole new can of worms. We're glorifying fucking Jeffrey Dahmers.
We're not
You know what I'm saying?
glorifying him. I mean,
That's the most streamed show on Netflix. What the fuck do you think that is?
But it's
People
not
got
glorifying
ideas.
him.
They are like, wow, this guy is great. Do you not see the amount of girls who still, when this is presently going on, like wanted to visit him in jail?
Okay, well, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other conversation. Like serial killers finding love after they're already in jail. That's a whole
One
other
of the most
thing.
top topics on podcasts is true crime, like crime and like serial killers. People want the Jeffrey Dahmer love story now, and that's what modern dating is. I summed it up. I found it.
I don't know who you're talking to, but don't put that on me because I do not want the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Yeah, what dating app is that? So I
I cannot get that one.
That's Tinder. That's Tinder.
Let
When
me
you
get
link your Instagram. That's when you link your Spotify. You link all this stuff to the same account. They find you. That's all. It's a wrap.
Nope.
Oh, so you went to what high school again? Okay, cool. What year did you graduate? Who was your teachers?
Intersocial, like that just gets a little too much.
I saw this post on Twitter where this girl gave this dude her number, but excluded 2 numbers.
I saw that,
and she's like, "Hey, good luck. I'm worth it," or some shit like that. And I was like, first of all, you're not. You're not. I'm not running algorithm to figure out what your number is. You know what I'm saying? That's the amount of odds you have to go through is crazy, right? Wait, and then you go through all that, and you find out she's a trash human being. So I put in hours trying to figure out this code. I'm not even a coder, right? I should be getting paid 6 figures by some, damn tech company, Google, all them, to find your phone number, and then I found out you're trash. That should have been red flag number 1 when she didn't give you the full 10 digits. You know what I'm saying? But anywho,
I will say I saw that and I was so confused because I was like, this is the most pretentious thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is who would do this? And I still am not. I would never do that, and I don't like condone necessarily doing that. But there was some added context. Apparently, their whole date, they had been talking about they're really both into true crime. He said he really likes puzzle solving. He really likes putting pieces together and like using evidence to come to conclusions. And they were really bonding over that specifically. And
okay, that makes it cute though.
And she did that for him as like a sort of, and she ended up DMing him anyway, like just getting his number straight up. And she ended up contacting him. So I still am not about it. I think it's still a little much.
That's cute.
But I think that makes it less pretentious, maybe. Because maybe
that makes it cute.
It's kind of like like, come find me.
It helps.
I think that makes it cute.
But you know what's going to happen is he's going to cut up her body into a million little pieces, and then there's going to be puzzles. It's going to be a puzzle to try to figure that shit out. Once you figure out the fucking phone number, then you can call me and I'll confess to the murders. That's what's going to happen.
he texts all those numbers, he falls in love with a different girl, and it's not her number.
Oh my gosh, that is such a good idea.
That's actually pretty fire.
Charles,
That's a
make it.
rom-com right there.
100%.
That's a
Make it.
That's
rom-com.
pretty fire. Because then you be like, damn, he hasn't called me. What the fuck's going on? And then you spot him with another girl, so you get mad. Oh, he just moved on from me. And it's like, what if she's like, oh, they call it the other Gabby.
Oh wait, no, there's a movie that's like this. I literally just watched it last week, and it's called The Wrong Missy or something like that.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Have you ever seen
yeah.
that?
I saw that.
He
I
like
saw
texts
that.
the
That
wrong
shit is
girl to
funny.
come on
It's
vacation, but
goofy
then he
as hell.
falls in love. Yeah,
It's so
Yeah,
bad.
it's-
It's so bad.
yeah,
It's goofy as hell.
that was a late night movie that I was
Yeah.
just let's put this on. Woo.
That's a
yeah.
good late night movie. Yeah, I think so too. But
Oh, yeah.
let's see. Okay, let's talk about the friend zone. Wow. Okay, so to the point. All right, so the friend zone, right? I think this plays into part of people not trying in dating or people not really making that concerted effort, because there's also a part in modern dating to where you try to slide into a girl's DMs and you get screenshotted. You get put in the girls' group chat. You get put on Twitter
Oh.
when you trying to be smooth, like especially if you're a celebrity. I mean, that's tough. Like that's like fuck, right? So then it's like also in the friend zone. So then it's like they be like, hey, what's the old saying? What's the worst they can say? The worst they can say is no, right? But then it's like, no, with your ugly ass, get the fuck out my DMs, you motherfucking piece of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people all they had to do was say no, but they go too far. So how do you guys feel about the friend zone?
So is this in the context of like somebody who was trying to date you and you were like, nah? Or like what do you mean? Friend zone.
I mean, you know, like it's the most devastating zone apart from auto there is, right? So there's obviously like you got like it's someone who's obviously interested in you, right? And you like you have such a good vibe with this person, and then it's like, but you're like, no, I'm good. And then it's like, boom. Or maybe selfishly, you don't want to cross that barrier to where it's because you want to have this person around, but you know things get messy. It's like quicksand. It's slippery. It's muddy over here. Versus because shit could go south, but shit could go right. But you don't want to explore it. You want to stay in the safe zone, or just tuck them away, or build your roster for a rainy day. But I don't know. How do you consider friend zone? Do you feel like you friend zone? All right, let me ask you this, ladies. Have you feel like you friend zoned anybody
Yes.
ever in your life?
Yes.
Purposely or non-purposely?
Both.
Is that a
Both.
yes
I
from you,
mean,
Audrey?
Yeah, I feel like, I have friend zoned, I have been friend zoned, but it doesn't hurt my feelings because I feel like you should want to be with someone that wants to be with you just as much, if not more, than you want to be with them. So
yeah.
it's just like okay, that's cool. Like I'll move on. You do your thing. Like I'll find someone that wants to give me that same energy that I'm looking for.
Exactly. What about you guys? Christian, you're being very quiet.
What part of the question? Like, as in, like, how do I feel about being friend zoned, or have I friend zoned someone? That's what I mean. I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I'm trying to
Both.
understand. I've friend zoned somebody. Like, I've friend zoned people after I've given them a chance, because maybe that they see me, if they're like a friend of mine or into me, maybe they've thought about me in that way, and I maybe necessarily haven't thought about them that way because you just thought it was friendship. So I give it a shot, and if I feel the vibes and I'm like, I'm just not interested, then I friend zone. I don't friend zone them, just not giving them a chance. Now, when I'm friend zoned, like I'll be upset about it, but secretly in my mind, I'm like, they're fucking lost because I know I'm a fucking good person and a good man. Like they're fucking lost. If they want to go out
What did
there
Drake
and waste
say?
time,
Her loss?
you said what?
Her loss?
The
I
whole
guess.
the whole album.
The
Oh,
album.
I was like, what?
Why have I gotten both of these references? Like,
You're
But
on
like,
top
if
of it.
someone
You let me
if someone puts me in the friend zone in my mind, it's like they're lost. Like, because I know I'm a good man. If they want to keep scrolling around, I know I can do good for them, and we can be a good partnership. And they don't see that, they're lost. Like, and I pray and hope one day when they find a person, and that person breaks their heart, and they think back and they see me thriving. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. Like I'm toxic with it. I can't wait for it. In all honesty, I'm just being serious. Like I just can't wait for it because you missed out on the perfect opportunity to go chase somebody who necessarily ain't the man that I am, haven't put in the effort that I have, or whatever it may be. I can't wait for it. I'm not praying on your downfall, but I just know when your downfall happens, don't come back looking this way. Don't do it. Just saying, don't do it. I'm not trying to be a
I love
dickhead. It's
it.
being real. That's just my thought process.
I love
Somebody
it.
don't want you because it hurts. I mean, like Audrey said, she said like it doesn't hurt her feelings, but like I guess for me, I mean, it hurts my feelings. When someone says they don't want you, but like you
I
see them in a
respect
different
that.
light. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like back in my mind, I'm like, fucking just you fucking wait till you actually see. Because some people are like very like CJ said before, they're not in the headspace for a relationship or whatever it may be, but then they reject you in a harsh way. That's when I have a problem with it. And I'm like, got it. Gotcha.
So
Man,
if they're
I,
just
I,
like
that's all I say.
like it just doesn't like work out and it's a friend zone situation, do you still feel that same way?
if they gave me a chance
Mm-hmm.
and then they were like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it, 100% it's okay. Because I understand two people can't. I understand you put yourself out there to give the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Don't not give someone a shot because they necessarily don't fit your criteria or fit your charts or fit whatever you got down on your list instantly. You gotta get to know that person to see if they fit them first. That's just my mindset. I'm just being honest. That's just my mindset. And it's like I get it. It's hard to do because like you said, like I said earlier, like you're bred to think like this is the person that you need to have, and like Gabby said, like you like the ways you want to meet people and whatnot. Like I understand all of that, but it's also like, hey, because there's times I've messed up on opportunities. Perfect person for me, and
Fumbles and
I
bags.
gave them a shot, and I just didn't see it. And then years later, I'm like, damn, like,
You see it now. I
like,
see it
but
now.
it's like they were the
Woo.
same person still, but either I got hurt by someone else, and it's like I want someone that can do those things for me, and they had that same thing. They always had it, and it's like,
Yeah.
damn. And I know, like,
But
they
some
may not know that I'm like, damn, but like, the universe will tell them, like, hey, I'm doing my thing now. So that's just my mindset on it.
no, I think sometimes though, like you have to go through certain things. Like you're not in that part of your movie yet, right? Like it's hard to see something that's good for you when you're still figuring out this part of your life because some things do kind of come closer to the forefront for you that you need to focus on before you can actually have the clear mindset to think about a relationship or something like that. So like I do get both sides because obviously it is a lot of bad timing, right? Like early on in your life, like you could be like, man, I'm trying to focus on school, get my career together, like and try to make something of my life. But he's like, no, I want to fuck around right now and have babies and I want to do all that things. Like, listen, I don't really want babies. I
Right.
want to make bread. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying
100%.
to like, I'm
100%.
trying to stack this chatter.
I got a
But then
question
it's like
for
some
you.
people, yeah.
Keep going. No. I want you to keep going. Keep going. You were stuck that cheddar.
Well, yeah. Well, some people just don't like have at that time, right? Because then like we gotta go through life differently, right? And your track could like we said, like your track could bring you back around. So like with my mom, I have an example here for you. My mother, the one who birthed me, about so many years ago, 23 years ago.
23.
Uh, so she met her. She has a high school sweetheart, and they were in love. They did the whole thing, right? They went to school together, lived right on the same street, and things didn't work out because Daryl, he went to the military, right? And he was going to go try to make some money, do the thing, right? He left, and they just kind of parted ways in. But there's a part where my grandmother didn't tell my mother that Daryl stopped by to say bye before he left to go off to the military. She didn't say shit. And so my mom was heartbroken. She was sad. Right? And fast forward to 2017, where we moved back to Maryland and she reconnects. They like, wow, life. They both had their kids. They both had their own kids. They're grown. And then next 2021 happens. They get married. And they're happily, they're married. So they reconnected. And so obviously they had their life, they did their life. And then it happened even later in life, which is I think that's kind of a fear for me, but we'll talk about that later. But it's just sometimes people think you get married at 20, 30 years old. It's okay, this is it. Sometimes that doesn't happen, right? There's circumstances that happen to where people grow apart. Life happens, right? So then that didn't work out. And then, but then realize the next person, the second person, maybe the third person might actually be the right person you need at this moment, or maybe for the rest of your life. And so, yeah.
That goes along with what I was saying earlier. If it's meant for you, it'll come back, eventually. It might not be tomorrow or whatever, but it eventually, just like with your mom, it came back around,
It did.
No, it came back around because grandma messed up, and the universe was like, "Hey, yo, grandma messed this up for us. We got to."
Yeah, that was.
But there's a lot of circumstances that can be out of your hands, right?
Yeah.
So it's even with being awkward, it's just what the hell? Especially if you're a person you can think about we're not the same people we were back in high school, right? I hope not. Because it's there's a lot of growth you should have had and a lot of experiences you should have had. Because I used to laugh at a lot of dumb jokes. Well, I still do. That's not a good example. It's just different views and beliefs that you would have at younger, but not knowing, not seeing the world. And then oh wow, I get it. And then you start to reapply that to, today. And then you're wow, maybe I am I didn't notice I have this quality about myself that I didn't realize. Thankfully, I either went to therapy, talked it out. I found out the hard way. I found out the easy way. It just depends on how people need to learn lessons. And I think that's a key part about growth. And I think there's a lot of people nowadays, I don't think will find their people until later on in life, because I think there's a lot of growth not happening with our young kids in modern dating. And that's why serious note.
And that's when you come to where you just keep continuing passing trauma onto the next person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody did you dirty, so you take that into your next relationship, and then you kind of do that person dirty, and then they take that. It's just an endless cycle.
Hurt people.
Trauma. Yeah.
But I agree with you on that, but then I don't in a way, because it's I get someone may have hurt. Not I'm saying you, but not you, but you. Someone may hurt you, but I also, my mind is as a guy, men are trash. There are a lot of trash men in this world, and they will hurt a woman, do most degrading, terrible things. But in my mind, it's also that's not. It shouldn't be on me to have to break down all these walls just to get to know you. And then when that wall, but finally when that wall's down, right? Now I'm the a-hole because I'm not interested anymore, because I finally found out who you were. Now I'm the bad person because you let your guard down. We could have figured this out a long time ago. I'm not saying, hey, let's get married tomorrow, but certain things I should be able to understand and know about you. And I get this person may have hurt you, they may have done bad things to you, but that doesn't mean I necessarily are going to do those things to you. The same way you don't want to be judged off the last person, I shouldn't be judged off the last person.
But let's be honest.
You shouldn't be.
Just said, most people are trash. So when you've been hurt by multiple people, you're not just gonna sit there and be like, I mean, well, of course you're gonna compare everybody to all the past shitty people you've dated because they've all been shitty, and so you're like, well, geez, apparently I got a type, you know? So you can't fault somebody for holding like walls up, and then you happen to like they should be worth it to break down the barriers and stuff.
Yes, but I'm saying if they're worth it, you don't know if they're worth it until the barriers are down. You don't know.
Which listen,
and then once
yes.
you get past the barriers, then you're like, oh, I really don't think I'm into this person because they may do this, this, and this. And then when you have the chance, and then when you're not interested anymore, now you're the bad person because I let my walls down, this, and this, and this, and now you're not interested. It's like, no, like I feel like personally, like not to be a jerk, but you put that on yourself because I understand people have hurt you and you feel like you have a type or whatever. But when someone is doing the right things, and I understand guys can do the right things and then turn left. I understand that. And Gabby, you've heard me say this, and CJ, I think you heard me say this. When you're pursuing someone, right, and you're doing all the right things, going on dates, when you get that person as your partner or whatever, you don't stop pursuing. It doesn't stop there. That's when you notice the difference between the people who do wrong and do bad. But then, like that post I showed you the other day, when that person has red flags, but you keep covering it up, trying to make it green flags, and then those red flags show up later on. Now you're like, oh damn, well, I gotta get out of this because this person definitely got the red flags. I just don't feel like the wall. I don't know. Not everybody deserves that wall.
But then, okay, then you can turn it around though and look at your like, you know, that person and be like, this person has their walls up. I don't know if I really should pursue them until maybe they're more comfortable with themselves. You know, or like they've gone through therapy or they're healed or whatever you want to call it. I mean,
100%.
Can I interject here?
Controversial, yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
Can I interject, please?
Yes, sir.
So here's the aspect I think that's getting lost here. Life is not fair, right?
Yes.
Can we all agree on that?
Sure.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And obviously, like life is not fair. Yes, you can see someone who has their walls up. That means you have to work a longer time, right? But sometimes you might not be up for that challenge. I get it. It is a lot of work. But it's not like you can't fault them for their past, right? Same for both people. Like,
yeah,
you've all had to go through different experiences and traumas. It's up to you within yourself to understand what the challenge ahead is, right? Because yes, unfortunately, I couldn't meet her and save her so she didn't have to go through all these terrible experiences. And you probably wish you would, because then you could have showed her what real love would have been like. You could have showed her have happiness, true happiness, right? So then it's like there is that question, there is that moment when you find out like there has been past trauma. There is, okay, you know that she's dealt with a lot of trauma. This person, he or she, or they have dealt with a lot of trauma before. It's okay, am I able to stay here as long as it takes to see what this really could be? And that's the question for yourself. Because whether or not you think it was going to last 2 years, like it should take maybe like a year or a certain point of time, you can't be angry that it took longer, right? Because you decided to enjoy this endeavor. You go into this endeavor, right? And it's like, and it's not fair. And it's not a perfect answer. Love is messy. Love is not fair sometimes. Like it might just not be right for you. And like, I think it's tough to try to like be like, because it's tough to be mad because this person has walls up. If this just have to say like, look, this is not suitable for me. I don't think if you see progress, if there's no progress whatsoever, then yeah, I can get why you can be upset, right? But like obviously, like progress, it has different speeds, you know. And you know what they say, the tortoise and the hare, right? So like the steadies wins the race, slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It can be same for love, right? And so, but you just have to understand if this race, if I'm going to enter this race, is this race worth it if I win? Right?
Mhm.
In any situation. And that's the same thing with relationships. That's why I think a lot of people don't want to be in relationships nowadays because it is a sacrifice. It's you have to compromise a lot of different things. You have to become a different person in a way. And it's tough. It's a lot of work. And I think that's a lot of things people don't really think about it. Like relationships are work. It's not just fun. Like you're not just gonna
Yeah.
get to have sex
Yeah.
whenever you want. Like it's a lot of work. Like you're gonna have to play. You're gonna have to play therapist. You might have to play like personal trainer, food chef. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of different things you have to be. And I think that's what I think a lot of people don't when they sign up for it. It's like, oh, well, I didn't know. I didn't read the fine print here. Like this shit
Mhm.
is crazy.
Yeah.
So that's just
There's
my
a-
2
I agree.
cents.
There's
I
a
agree
quote,
though.
and I think it's Roosevelt, but my dad always told me, and it's trust but verify. And I
Mm.
have used that for like everything, dating included, where it's like also my mom used to say like uh trust like your gut instinct about someone when you meet them, but then again like verify that later on. Like when you are getting to meet someone, you know, trust that they may have a lot of walls up, trust what they're telling you, but also use their actions to verify like what kind of person you think they are. Like maybe they're the kind of person that initially has their walls up, but once they get to know you, it's an easily it tumbles down and it conversation flows. They're more willing to open up. They just have like that initial hesitancy. And I won't fault someone for having that because people are trash. Like it makes sense that a lot of people have that, and especially with dating apps being so pervasive, like you got to imagine how many times someone's been like come on to or led on to in like such a not great way.
Yeah.
So I think there's like a weird fine line between like because you also have to protect yourself because there's people that don't have your best interests at heart. There's if you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, if you've ever been in a relationship with someone that was emotionally manipulative, like there's an aspect of your own safety and mental health, but there is it's a fine line, it's a balance, like open up, be my true self, but also withhold enough of myself that I'm not completely giving myself over to someone before I've really figured out what they are.
Yeah.
But that takes time, and we don't live in an era of spending a lot of time on things like that. Like we watch 30-second videos 400 times a day every day for hours on end. Like nobody wants to put that time in because we want instant gratification. We
Yep.
want the likes
Yeah.
to come in, we want the comments, we want to interact. We if a video is more than a minute and a half long, people are clicking off because they're bored now. Like
Yeah.
that also is translating, I think, into real life and like relationships. Like we don't want to put the time in, we want instant gratification. If you're
Yeah.
not with me, you're against me. If you're not up, you're down. Like it's so black and white. Like there's a nuance that's been sort of lost along the way.
I agree.
Facts. Well said.
But yeah, dating's trash. So
Yeah, pretty much. It's going great out here.
It is. It's a weird world. It's a weird world to navigate for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Um, I want to do a quick dating X draft. So we kind of go around the board
Mm.
real quick. 2 of your dating X, and then we can kind of move on from this therapy session that we've had here today. Somewhat.
Okay.
Who wants to go first? Or do we need time to think about it? Should I just like meander and just talk about some nonsense to give people time?
I have one for sure. I don't know about
Yeah,
two.
me too. I have one for sure.
Okay,
I think I have
okay.
one for sure. Yeah.
I don't have one, but I can still meander around and talk aimlessly until I find my point. It's kind of something I think I do well often because I talk to hear myself speak sometimes. I just don't normally know what to say most of the time. So, you guys can stop me anytime whenever you.
No, I'm
feel like
enjoying
you have
this.
something.
Yeah, no,
Honestly,
this is good.
I think one of my dating icks has to be not doing the bill dance with me, right? You remember? So Christian asked me this beautiful question: Dud or dandy? A woman paying for me on the first date? Look, I ain't saying you gotta pay, right? But you can be like, oh, let
just
me,
want that reach. Yeah.
Mhm.
you know what I mean? I just want a little reach. Where you be
Yeah.
like, okay, or this. If you know, if I say, look, especially, or so like Chris say, like, yeah, like I'm gonna pay for the first date, so if she knows that you're gonna pay for the first date, but she running that bitch up. She running that thing up. Guess what? I'm running my ass out. I am running my ass out. Disgusting. But yeah,
Who's next?
I don't know if this is like a dating ick, but it's more so I don't know. You're into a girl, CJ, okay, and
yeah.
you like her, and you shoot your shot, right?
How much do I
And they
like her?
say you like her a lot. All right, you just like her. You're interested. You're interested.
Like more than 5?
Jesus Christ, sure, more than
I
5.
need to know. You're putting me in the mood. Like I'm trying to figure it out because, like, to be quite
And
honest with you, I haven't really liked a girl more than 5 in a really long time. To be quite honest with you, because a lot of times, like, I've been bored, and it's just like, okay, I think I like her for the time being, right? So it's like, okay, this could be toxic. This could be very toxic, you know. But it's like I'm kind of bored, but like I like her enough to where I can entertain this. And we've all been there, right?
All
So
I
I'm
know
the
is
only
I'm
one.
about to only refer to like liking somebody as more than 5. Guys, I like you more than 5.
That's a big number. Listen, ladies, 5 is a huge number. Okay, anything more than 5 is just too much
Got it.
in all aspects of life.
anyways,
Ew.
Jesus Christ, you like a girl, whatever number you want to like her at.
Let's go
Okay,
6.
okay, and you're interested, and you tell her that you're interested, and she says, "I'm just not looking for a boyfriend right now. I'm looking for a relationship right now." Right? Then a week later or a month later, you see her booed up. You see her booed up with somebody else. That is an ick for me. Don't lie to me. Just say you're not interested
Boot
in me.
up, boot up.
Just say you're not interested in me. Don't say you're not looking for a boyfriend or wanting anything serious right now, or like you're not into dating. Don't say that. And then a week later, I see you posted up, booed up with somebody else. Don't
Facts. You gonna be
don't tell
posted
me
up
that.
in the lobby where everybody can see you. So obviously, you know the relationship status is perfect, and then you're all here cuddling up and doing the thing, and then it's like, oh, like, you know, you're not cool, but like he's really cool, and he kind of looks like you similar. So just like, okay, what the fuck? Like you obviously got a type, and it's like, damn, like this
Or
motherfucker
they're
uglier
uglier
than
than
me.
you.
Like what the
Or
fuck's
they're
going on?
uglier than
Yeah,
you, bro. That's an ick,
don't get me
bro.
started with that shit. When you
That's
it
ick.
actually makes me laugh
Oh
though.
my!
It
It
makes
makes
me
me
laugh.
laugh too.
I said, you
It
chose
makes me
this
laugh.
motherfucker.
Someone uglier and can't do it how I do it. That's
Hey,
crazy. That's
that's
crazy. You got it, girl.
crazy.
I see you don't want yourself or your kids. They're gonna be ain't shit
Hey,
motherfuckers. So I see
you must hate yourself. I get it.
I
I
get it.
understand now.
Understood. Understood.
Jeez.
But that is a cool moment though. When even if it's amicably, right? Like you won the breakup. People will say like if their next person is like, damn, like they're not as attractive as you, and like, come on, son. Come on, son. But it's also, do you also feel like it's like a game of chicken? Like, should you, whoever's the first person to like get that quote unquote next person, if especially if it's like a long term relationship or like a somewhat serious relationship, you're like, oh yeah,
I feel
this is
like
who
it
I'm
used to
moved off
be,
with.
but now I feel like the person who can stay single the longest, because then like you're in a relationship, but then you can see them still having fun and going out and like doing, and so then like the person in the relationship is like, oh, Like they're getting to have fun, and I'm with her. You know, like I feel like it's different now than it used to.
She makes me eat Brussels sprouts. No, for sure.
Okay, I'll go. One of my dating icks is like when they ask to kiss me. Like, don't just do it. Like, if you're like, can I kiss you? Like, no. And since you asked, no. Like, just when the moment's right, we'll both know, and it'll just happen.
When's the moment right, Gabby? Damn it! When is it right?
100%. Because you won't know. You won't know. Because there's been plenty of times I didn't kiss a girl, and she texted me and was like, "Hey, why didn't you kiss me?" And I'm like,
let me put y'all on something.
Terrible.
When a girl looks at your lips, she wants you to kiss her.
But we're always taller than the girl majority of the time, so she always looking up. What you mean?
There's a difference between your eyeballs and your lips. Okay, eyeballs, lips. You can tell when somebody's looking at your forehead. You can still tell the difference. Am I wrong?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Though. There's been plenty of times, and then there's been times you like, oh, they looked at my lips, or I saw they looked at my lips. I see it. I'm gonna go lean in and like, oh, don't.
It's psychology.
I can't talk to you no more. I can't talk to you no more. I instantly can't talk to you no more. I gotta make up the biggest excuse in history by that.
You did not get consent, sir. Sir.
No.
I feel like
But have you ever leaned in for the first kiss? Have you ever leaned in for the first kiss? You went first.
Like there's moments.
You're not answering the question.
Okay, I'm trying to, but you won't shut your mouth.
You said there's moments when what?
So listen, there's a moment when it's the end of the date, whether you're at the front door or in the car or whatever it is. There's a moment when you're like, all right, it's time, and it's quiet, and you're just sitting there awkwardly. That would be a good moment for it. That's like a good moment for it. But don't sit there and be like, can I kiss you? Like, no, now you can't because you asked. Like, it's just, I don't know why it bothers me, but it does. I hate it.
Well, first of all,
because I want it to be like organic. Like, that's what makes it. It just goes back to me fantasizing my life as a movie. In movies, are they always like, can I kiss you? No, they just kiss.
I'm not going to comment on it because I'm not getting shit on it. I'm not going to comment on it because you're not going to agree with what I'm going to say anyways. So I'm just not going to comment on it.
Say it. Just let it out.
She says that from her point of view, but as a guy, it's like CJ. I get it. You Mr. Perfect. You may not understand. But as a guy, I'm just saying, as a guy, and there's a girl in front of you, it's like stressful because for me, when I pull up to your house or whatever it may be, or we're leaving the establishment and we drove separately, there's a moment you're like, should I kiss her? And then it's like, there's no telltale signs. So then I've asked before, you do ask because it's like, then you lean in and like, then it's just weird. You say that from your point of view because you already have in your mind, hey, I want this guy to kiss you. That's the thing. Dates can go well. You mean to tell me that you've been on dates that went well and the guy just said, I've been on dates that went perfectly well in my mind, and they said, yeah, the date was fun, but I'm just not that interested. There's things that happen like that. I'm just saying. So I'm supposed to just magically know. If the date's
going well, okay.
But some people don't kiss on first dates either. I'm just saying, some people don't kiss on first dates either. I've met plenty of people that just don't kiss on first dates.
Well, we already know.
And we get it. You said you kiss on first dates, so it's different. So I'm just saying, there's plenty of people who don't kiss on first dates, and I go to lean in, they're like,
so. Christian, it sounds like you have a lot of experience with first dates and trying to kiss women, which means that you get around quite often. I think that's what I'm getting here at this.
This is why I shut up
arrangement here.
I always just get slandered.
Bro, no one's slandering you, bro. We're just joking.
Slandered me. You just slandered me. I get around.
Listen,
Jesus.
You're joking me.
I
don't think you get any hoes. Okay, you want me to say that? You want me to say you get no bitches?
You can say whatever you feel like your heart
desires. I'm giving you a compliment. I'm giving you a compliment, man. I swear, bro. Your front door is like a revolving door because there's so many girls coming in and out, in and out. Do you want that, Christian? Is that what you want?
You say whatever you feel like your heart desires. If it's a 5 or not, I don't know. You got it, buddy.
Listen, she over a 5 though. Like my heart's kind of, you know what I'm saying? But no, I get what you're saying, Christian. I understand what you're saying because I've been there too. It's like dang, should I kiss her? All right, let me give you a funny story since we're here. It was this girl that I went on the first date with in I'm in Wilmington. We went to a famous establishment known to Wilmington, PT's. You know that place. And so it's a cool little burger joint, whatever, having a good time. And I'm talking. This girl is talking. I mean, okay, I talk a lot, but she was talking the whole date. I'm just like talking her ass off, and I'm just like, fuck. Because like most of the time I like to say stuff and then like I kind of gauge the conversation. I don't think I've ever been in a situation to where a girl has like dominated time of possession. You get that reference, Christian? And so I'm just like, fuck, like, and then she like, and then PT's was about to close, and like we look around. And we're looking around and like people are like wrapping it up because you still got to pay at the counter. And then it's like, oh, I think they're about to close. That's my hint to like, let's get this, like, let's kind of wrap this shit up. But then she's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Then goes back to talking to me another 15 minutes.
Oof.
I don't know where I was going with that, but it was just hilarious.
Is that another one of your icks?
Is that, yeah, I was about to say, is that an ick?
He was saying he was agreeing with me, and then clearly he wasn't, and just the story went somewhere else. I don't know.
It didn't go somewhere. I just wanted to tell that story because it was really funny. She was just talking her ass off, and I'm like, "Yo, like, what am I supposed to say?" And
you
then
just kiss her to shut her up.
Nah, that's a little rapey.
I'm just kidding.
Sorry,
I was kidding. I'm kidding, everybody. Don't do that. Please do not do that.
That is wild.
But then let me ask you guys this. You guys both are like, it's just awkward, but like, you don't the moment that you're thinking, should I kiss her? I guarantee you she's like, is he gonna kiss me? Because like, if you feel like you want to, that's a sign that it was obviously going well, you know, for both parties. So I guarantee you that in that moment, she's like, well, is he gonna do it or not? You know?
For sure. I also struggle with the how many shows do you watch before Netflix and chill really starts? Right? So do I watch 2 episodes? Do we watch a full episode? Do I wait till the opening title is happening? Do I just go straight in? Am I desperate? Am I thirsty?
It's got to be.
So that's also, I think that's the
Are
new
You Still
dating.
Watching.
Yes.
So you got 3 episodes.
But after, 2 solid. You got a solid 2 because you don't want that popping up. You don't want that popping up because that breaks the.
Because that's like an exit. That's an exit
down.
for sure.
Yeah,
that could be a well.
It's like, well, I gotta head out now.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. No, there's 2.
True.
2 episodes.
Netflix should be watching you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ooh,
It is an awkward moment, though. It is an awkward moment for people who don't have that confidence to know for sure. Like, hey, like, I'm just going to kiss you. Because some people do. Listen, there's this. You can afford to who you can be, right? You can be who you can afford to be. And it's like, hey, like, if I got it like that, if I'm Mr. Rizzler out here, all right, yeah, baby, let's go. But then some dudes are just like, hey, I'm happy to be here. And it's like, this was great. But was it, like, did she really like it? And then the people who do question themselves. Like, I'm a person who overthinks, who questions. So it's like, there's a lot of people who overthink. And then they overthink themselves out of opportunities. And it happens. But you should just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? You know
then
what? I know the worst
no?
can happen. You get charged with sexual assault. And then you'll go to jail. And then you'll be put on, those lists. And, you can't, then you got to identify your neighbors whenever you move into a new spot that, hey, I'm a sexual offender. Yeah,
maybe I'm just a bad person to ask opinions on because I'm such a hopeless romantic. Like, down deep in my core, I'm such a hopeless romantic. And so, like, like I said, I fantasize my life as a movie, you know? And so I just think about those key moments in the movie where it's like, they just know, you know, like, so I don't know. I'm just a hopeless romantic.
Audrey, are you a hopeless romantic? Because I feel like you're a gangster, to be quite honest with you. That's always my impression of you. Just like, you gonna kiss me. Like, I feel like you'd be like the aggressor and like pull the dude's head forward and then just like, all right.
I have been the initiator in like every past relationship I've had in like, I don't know, like the last 2 long-term relationships I've been in, I was the initiator in both. I was just like one day, like hanging out, we've been hanging out for a while, we've been talking a lot. And so we're watching a movie or whatever, and it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna kiss him. And obviously, like if he like backs away, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. Like, it's all good. If he's into it, then I'm into it.
But you still went for it. That's all that matters.
I got his number. I started talking him up. Like, I'm very
Audrey
just,
is the
like,
Rizzler of Oz.
Nice.
Not really. I'm just like impatient. Like if I'm down,
okay, I do feel that.
Vibe, like I have no issue. I have no issue being initiated or being the initiator. Like, if anything, I probably get more of a kick out of being the initiator because, like, I don't know, I'm a control freak. I like when like I have like a certain like edge in the game, you know. I kind of like being the one that's like. Also, I kind of like having the roles reversed, where it's like I have been the one to show up at a guy's house for a date with like candy and like a little, you know, just like a little something.
See,
like,
that's queen status right there. I want someone. I want someone to do that. I want someone to ask me on a date. Propose to me if you need to. Please go ahead, girl.
Let me tell you something.
I'm telling you,
a lot of guys do. A lot of guys love that.
I
promise you're at the top of the list. You're at the top of the list. You ain't
Hey,
competing for
let
no
me
rock.
get
You
cute
ain't
and
competing for that number one.
Hey, I'm gonna be in the mirror looking cute as shit, boy. She gonna love this. Let me see what I got. Let me put these J's on.
And
This
not
fit,
like
the chain.
It's not like, I'm not like other girls. Like, it's literally just like, I kind of get a kick out of it. And it's probably because, like, I've dated both guys and girls. So I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I've been the girl that shows up to a girl's house with flowers when she's having a bad day. Or I've been the girl who a guy has shown up to with flowers on a bad day. So I've seen both sides. And I also feel like I have a little bit of an advantage because I have a male roommate. He's my best friend of 11 years. I get his perspective. I live with a male, so like I have a very good, I think, perception of like what men are looking for, things that, you know, they don't get to experience a lot, that is usually expected, you know, of them for a female. So I have that going, and then I've been in relationship with girls, so like I kind of know what they're looking for. So I can kind of meld these two worlds into this, like, I'm also just a very like equalitarian person. Like, we can go 50-50 on a date. I don't care how long we've been dating. That doesn't bother me. I pay for my stuff, you pay for yours. Maybe I pay for your stuff if I'm in a good position. You pay for mine if you're in a good position. But like, I'll never expect like this set hard fast, you know, he brings you like, because I was raised with that, you know, he opens the door for you and you know, he brings you flowers and now when like, it's a very kind gesture. I don't take it badly, but it throws me off so bad when a guy goes to open my door because I'm like, I like, that's very kind and I'm really appreciative, but don't ever feel like that was something expected on the table because I would never expect, like, I'm a big girl. Like, I can, you know, I can open my door. Like,
I get that because like I'm independent. So I'm like, this is why I'm single. I'm a hopeless romantic, but I am also very independent. So
yeah,
like people try to open my, like I'll go to open my door and then they're like, no, wait. I'm like, what? And then they're like trying to open the door and be sweet, but I'm sitting here like, what? You know?
Yeah,
like,
I'm like, I could have just opened it by now. Like,
I feel that.
This is now
I feel that.
We're in a weird position.
Yeah, we could already been there. Like,
yeah, we could have been at the establishment, and we're still holding this door handle.
But
maybe our hands touch.
Oh my gosh! And then you guys look at each other. It's a full circle.
It's a full circle.
How would you feel about like having your hands touch, but when you're like car door, so he's actually trying to rob you, but then like he's kind of cute at the same time, but he gives you that like a little bit of danger because he could kill me, but like, wow, he's cute.
That's a different kind of
like
giving
the
too many
bad boy.
ideas, man.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. The whole.
He says, "Give me all your," and then we make eye contact, and then he says, "Love," and then we're like 2 years later we're married.
Perfect. So it is confirmed. All these girls want is a Jeffrey Dahmer. Boom.
No,
Oh my
Full circle.
God.
Got him. He fucking.
he doesn't kill me. He doesn't kill
That's what marriage is, right?
killing the other person.
Yeah, slowly but surely. Oh,
Slowly.
All the ones I've seen. So
It is interesting that
You know-
women statistically live longer in marriages, and I've thought about that a lot.
oh
I've
yeah,
thought about that a lot.
yeah.
Like,
I
Because
saw
I'm like,
somebody
well,
else
good
didn't
thing
talk
I'm good
about-
at being alone. Yeah.
like, are we
She gets it,
better at
it's
wearing them down, or we're winning?
Yeah.
No, something I think too we didn't really talk about, but it's like a lot of marriages do end in divorce, right? And I think how has that affected us in today's dating scene as well,
Oh, we're screwed
right?
up.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like because of like back in the 60s where it's like you find your person and you marry them, you clunk the girl over the head, she has your babies. Like, dating has evolved, and we're the result of what we see before. And I think we're the result of like everyone having like what the high divorce rate is, and it's just like some people might be like fearful, maybe like stay out of relationships longer because they saw what happened with their parents. You know what I mean?
I
So,
think that goes exactly with what you were saying earlier. Like, because we saw our parents have all this trauma is why we're like, so many of us are okay with being by ourselves right now. Because like, why would we want to put ourselves through what we had to witness as a child,
yeah.
to just like even
You
just
hold on to that
ourselves even. Yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
You want the final word on this, Christian?
For me, divorce, I'm gonna say it's not an option if I get married, because potentially I want my partner to understand if we may get in heated debates or whatever it may be. There was a reason why we said I do and yes to each other. And you said yes to me when I got on one knee, or I said yes to you when you got on one knee. So
Come on now, Christian's getting it.
Yes, I mean, divorce is not an option for me. Like, and I don't know many people besides one friend whose family got a divorce, but like my parents are together, so it's just like for me, it's just I've never seen or had that trauma, and I don't know what that trauma feels like. And I feel sorry for people who have been through that, and I get it. But I mean, like my parents are still together, and so yeah.
Congratulations, dude. That's awesome.
That
I was
is
about
really
to say
good,
that
yeah.
should
That's
just show
awesome.
the statistics here is that what is
Like
it?
we have a
1
good
in
reach.
3?
Yeah.
1 in 3?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I could tell you my views on marriage. I used to, so like growing up, I was like, yeah, like I want to get married, have about 12 kids, and like live with it. That's when inflation wasn't a thing.
Okay, Mr.
Well, I could
Bogus.
just get a gallon of
Yeah.
gas for 99 cents. You know what I'm saying? But like nowadays, like I'm almost against marriage, and not in terms of like being with someone together forever, but I think I'm leaning more towards just a partnership for life. Like if I commit to you, like why we got to bring the government into this?
Facts.
100%, bro.
I
But
feel
also,
that.
yeah.
I feel
I'm
that.
fearful. I'm fearful of it as well, because nowadays a lot of people are in it just so they can get a divorce and get the money. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people
Oh my
are.
God.
Look at
A
Jeff
lot of people-
Bezos' ex-wife. She became the richest person like that with a quick divorce.
And then it's like some people just don't understand the thought, or not rules, but they don't understand the concept of marriage, like what that is.
For sure.
They just think like, oh, I like you enough, you like me enough, I love you enough, I love you, like let's get married. And it's like,
Right, let me tell you something. Let me tell you
no,
something.
it's not like that. It's, can we build from this? Like we're at the stage right now where I said yes, but is there more to build for? I don't want this to be
Your
this
final
way
form.
for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
No. I want to keep building. Where else can we go with this? No. And I feel like some people don't
Facts.
understand
Like
that concept.
there's people who get married so young, right out of high school, been together
Oh my
since high
God,
school,
yeah.
right? And then all of a sudden, as we grow, as we grow and become different people, we change. We don't look like how we used to look like in high school. We have
This nigga don't
babies.
miss.
We have multiple babies, right? I don't
This
miss. I don't miss at all. I don't miss. And then you want to what? Look outside? You want to talk to other people? You know, you want to go outside this marriage because what? I don't look like I used to look like? That's shallow. I thought you loved me for who I am as a person, right? But you just loved me for the kid that we used to be because you wanted to get in these cheeks back in the day, right? You didn't have no other offers. You had nobody else looking at you, but I looked at you, right? I finally circled the block 3 times. I circled the block 3 times to come back to you. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how people
What a dud.
think, wow.
What a dud.
It's crazy how people think this is how it's going to be like, oh man, it's going to be great, but it's not. It's work. It's work. That's something people don't understand. It's work. I don't want to marry the same. I don't want my marriage to start off as it did in high school. I'm not going to be the same person I was in high school to where I'm going to be, right? I was broke in high school. I ain't trying to end up broke. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I was stupid in high school. I don't want to end my life being stupid. I want to learn a few things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't been nowhere in high school. I want to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? With you. I'm not going to leave you if you can't fit in the car seat. I'm not going to leave you because three kids. You popped up 3 kids. Now you got a little sag a little bit. You got a little extra weight. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to leave because you cut your hair short when I say I like your hair long. I'm not going to do that.
100%. Like Viola Davis said, marriage don't start when you say I do. It starts when you look over to that person and you say, dang, I really want to kill this person. I really want to leave this marriage. But you understand what got you to this point. You look around, wow, we're in this house. Wow, we have kids. Wow, look what our kids are doing. And you think like, I wouldn't have none of that unless I had this person.
Yeah. I think too many people think it's stagnant. People use the word stagnant in their relation, in their marriage, which I get. Because people think this is how I want it to be forever.
Yeah, they won't think you want to be degraded forever, and you just don't want to be degraded forever. It's just a phase in your life that you wanted to be degraded. I understand, dude.
Get used to that, Christian. We're together forever, buddy.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Can you feel?
I don't want that.
But that's all I want to say on this because it's honestly we can do a part 2. I think we could do a part 2 maybe around Valentine's Day in a couple weeks about this too. But like, there's a lot that we can tackle about this. Like, there's a lot. Like, there's something. Obviously, we kind of went more how we personally feel, but we could get some more opinions and more perspective because I think we all have really cool perspectives just from. Think about me. We mostly grew up in the South, right? So, like, what about like finding somebody who's from the North, the West, the South, like East Side, Northwestern, overseas? Like, there's so many different people who believe, like, how relationships are based off where you grew up, right? And like, obviously, you got that Southern hospitality, that charm, that all that kind of thing. Get married so I can touch your butt type vibes. Like, it's a lot of different beliefs people have growing up. So.
Well, with that being said, was that it?
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Okay, I didn't want to cut you off. I don't want to cut you off. If you got more, go keep going, buddy.
No, man, I don't know. I am passionate about this kind of topic because I think I've done a lot of learning in my years.
He's done a lot of
learning.
He's done a lot.
I've been in a situation where it's like, yo, like I like this girl, but she's like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship right now. We'll just say with you, right? And then it's like, all right, that's cool. All right, and then you just see someone else, right? I'm not ready. I'm still in my whole phase. I don't want to be tied down. That's fine. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't want to be just another person in your whole phase. I want to be the person, right?
I want to be your host.
Yeah. Your host.
So yeah, I get it, and I think I've matured. Thank God. Thank God I did. You know, like a lot of views that I've had to where I used to be. Like I'm glad for the work that I've done to like not only be secure and understand what I need and who I am, but to know that that doesn't fit the culture that I'm trying to set for my life. And so, and it is times where it's like you can see a quality of someone that's like really good and really great, but it's like, but like I just can't because it's going to mess up things too much. And that could be bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's sometimes you have to figure out if this person's worth taking that chance or taking that leap, I like to say. And, I don't like to jump a lot. So,
I can.
Audrey,
I
did
can
you give your
respect.
ick?
I don't. I had a lot of the same icks. I think the only ick
True.
I thought of was like just when someone presents a certain way and is not that way. They were just trying to like fit your mold to make you like them.
Yeah.
But that's a topic
Ship
for another day.
shifters.
That is
Yeah, we definitely
That-
need a part
escalation.
2 because this is fun. I like this.
Yeah, I want to get a huge panel. I think it should be me, you, Christian versus like 100 girls, and then just tackling all of them. That could be a fantasy, or that could also be a reality for the podcast. So
Yeah, that sounds like something
what it
else. We'll put a pin in that, and
Nope. Nope. And you know what? I realize that I think a different way than most people, and that's okay. I think a lot.
It
Like
is
I think
okay.
a lot of my views and stuff may not match y'all's criteria or thought process, and that's fine because in my mind, it fits me, and I know what I see on a day-to-day basis, and it's different from what you guys may see on a day-to-day basis, and it's all depending on how I've been treated and how you've been treated and all that kind of stuff. And I want to say I don't want to make anyone feel bad or that their thoughts or how they felt isn't valid because it's very valid. When you get treated a certain way, it's very valid. And certain things that I say may be harsh or may seem not empathetic to what you are saying, but I just think how I think and feel how I feel. And it's not a bad thing. Same way everyone that's his life. Like you said, sometimes life ain't fair sometimes.
That's facts. You should never apologize for who you are.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
beauty of it.
Be
Everyone's got their own thing.
authentically yourself.
Shit. I apologize for who I am all the
Exactly.
time.
You
All
shouldn't.
the time. I do.
You shouldn't.
Because I wish I wasn't me sometimes.
Oh, brother. That's a whole other therapy
That's
session.
another
that's a whole other
podcast.
thing. I wish I wasn't me. We're going to switch it up. We're going to talk about The Last of Us because I didn't forget this time. And
Woo!
we are going to try to make this a lot faster than the first topic.
That's a fine. That's a fine.
Yeah. So The Last of Us, I guess we'll start off with they get through the fence, right? And they find themselves like locked up in the room. What I cannot remember his name. I remember her name, Tess. And I don't remember little homie's name. Someone look it
Little
up.
homie.
please.
Wait, why can't I remember it either?
Exactly. Tom, Rob,
No,
Steve,
it's something with an
Craig,
R.
Roy,
Mhm.
Ron,
Maybe not.
Ranger.
Well, it's not that one.
It's Joel.
Well,
The main guy name is Joel.
yep, that's it. That's
Joel,
it.
Ellie
Tess, and what's
is
the
the
girl's-
little girl.
Ellie.
Tess is the older girl.
Okay, that's all we need to know.
And, yeah,
All right.
that's all we get.
So,
But it starts
Tess,
off. This episode does start off with, like it kind of like a I don't know.
Ooh,
it's like
the
a
scientist,
throwback, was
the
like
scientist.
a scientist.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like brought her in to talk about. I guess they
Kinda
showed
watch
her
it the
what
other
the
day.
hell the shit is, and that shit's crazy. Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, let me just say this. Before we
Also-
do the roof, talk about it. This episode made me so uncomfortable.
Me too.
Like,
Me too.
I mean, I've never gotten so uncomfortable
Facts.
ever watching, except for one experimental film that I watched in film school. That was, I mean, literally watching. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. It's bad. It was, and that, which is understandable why that it made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
So the scientists,
catch me
they
off there.
bring her in.
Ask me off there.
Oh, I
They-
will.
they-
Don't worry.
they bring her in, like CJ said, sees what's going on. He's like, hey, we need a vaccine, we need medicine. And she's like, hey, we don't got that, my guy. You might as well just bomb us all, my guy. And then they fast forward a little bit to them being in the city. She's sleeping. They're looking at her, trying to figure out, wow, how has she been bitten? And nothing's happening. And they go outside. They see the way that they want to go is blocked by a building. So definitely can't do that. So they got to go the long way. And they found out the way that they were going to go again. Definitely can't go through because there's a bunch of these. I don't want to call them zombies.
Have they given them a name yet? Because I don't think
they have. I written it down. Because it was. You guys watched behind the episode or whatever at the end.
Oh,
No.
You watched that? Yeah.
They're
Also,
called
I'm
clickers.
still- that makes sense because he was
Clickers.
like he was clicking in the museum thing, and I was like,
Yes!
this sounds like Alien.
Predator. Just
Predator,
like Predator.
yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
it gave it Predator vibes, and I was like skin crawling.
So I'm still confused on like what it is because it's like, okay, they're saying it's a virus, but then like they're saying it's a fungus, but it's like still alive. Like I
Yes.
just don't understand what it is.
So like,
So
Am I not
basically-
supposed to?
alive.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like, am I not supposed to know what it is, or what? Like,
Well,
or
Audrey can
No,
back
they-
me up because she's the smart chemist over here. She does all the biology, but it is a fungus that is affecting these people, which is a live organism that's taking hold over their body, right? And so behind the episode, like the original in the game, the fungus is also airborne, but also it touches, like it can also like travel. Like it's everything. It's always live. It's live everywhere. But then it becomes like a live place where someone touches the area that the fungus lives, and then the fungus can travel 100 miles to that one spot. So that's what happened when that person died, and his hand was like on the ground, and you saw like the little worms or like the fungus travel up his fingers, and that's what it's traveled to there, and that's when all these people woke up to like, oh, like.
Was it like
This is what the party's at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like roots or something almost, kind of too. It's weird.
And that's a
That's
real
why I was
thing
like,
though,
I'm
because
so
it does it to
confused.
snails. Like it happens to snails in real life, and I think
Yeah.
they said it's a disease that some deers get or something like that some deers
Yeah.
can get, and it's insane. But like the reason why we don't get it is our brain, like it takes over
But it
things
takes
that
the-
don't
but it-
have the capacity that we have, like
Oh,
smaller
okay,
things,
I
like,
see what you're
like
saying.
our intelligence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our intelligence. Okay.
Go on.
Uh,
I feel like that was
I'm
a
trying to
shade.
figure
That was a little shady.
what was shady?
Our intelligence. I'm just kidding.
Mhm.
I'm fucking with you.
I didn't even do all that.
I know.
See,
I know.
and-
It was a joke. It was a joke.
So they run into.
It was a joke.
Stop.
They go into that hotel. They find out the people on the ground. And that I didn't know sunlight bothers them. Didn't know that. So that's a new thing that we figured out. And then they travel to another route, and then they go in that library or museum thing that you were talking about. And I already knew something was going to happen there because they escaped too much in that first one. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
this is interesting.
Mhm.
And then they go in, they make some noise. The monster is there. There are two of them or whatever. Old girl gets bitten, but we don't know it yet. You all right? You came close to the camera, so yes, CJ.
Well, yes, like so in that okay, continue because I continue the part, then I'll get back to where it happens. Like
So we don't know that she gets bitten because she was off the screen so much. Like we didn't
Right.
see her throughout that whole fight.
But I didn't know how fresh it was. That's
It
my
didn't
biggest
look
question.
that fresh. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like she been
So-
hiding that shit for a minute.
No. So you gotta think. Do you remember when the little limping boy came in and they sat him in the chair? And they said when you get bitten from the shoulder on up, it takes about an hour for it to affect you. And then from like the waist up, it takes about like 3-4 hours, and then from your leg on up, it takes about 12 hours to infect you. Like if you go back and watch the first episode, there's like a little chart behind them that says it. And remember, he got bit on the foot, and that's why he wasn't acting crazy, and you could tell he was walking for a long time. That's why he didn't turn into anything, because he got bit in the foot. That's why they weren't worried, because he was limping. So then she got bitten on the neck. She even realized, like, that's when she was like, all right, we got to go. Like, let's hurry up, because I don't want to, like, this, that, and another. Let's hit the road.
And then Ellie pointed that shit out. You were bitten. Bitch, you a snitch.
She ain't got what I got. We got to kill her. Kill her.
I think one thing too I didn't realize those, because like when Ellie, she got bitten, it scabbed over, so it's mostly her skin, regrowth of her skin. But then when you see the reveal of the bite from other girl, Tess, her shit was purple. So like that's that fresh like virus coming through her veins. Like that's kind of like a live look at what COVID-19 looks like when it's attacking your immune system.
All right, you can't give people false information like that. All right,
it's a joke.
So yeah,
don't take anything I say seriously.
So they're walking to the museum, or after the museum, they walk a little bit further, get into the truck, or they're trying to scope out the truck because that's where they're meeting at, and the people aren't there. And they go into the little building, and they realize, oh, they all follow each other.
See blood on the floor.
Yeah.
They saw blood on the floor. They went in here, and they were like, "Oh,
like
they're dead." And then when you walk,
yeah, and they shot and killed him, and they didn't know that's. But in that time frame, what's her name? Ellie points out that Tess got bitten, and she's like,
"Yeah," because the way she was acting, she know. Which when I saw that, I didn't know how long they're going to take for that, but I was like, "Oh, homie, going to have to kill her," and I was like, "Bet, fuck this bitch Tess," because first of all, I don't like her. But did you know? Okay,
I
don't
like her either. I'm not gonna lie. Like her character, I just
very unlikable. But apparently, Ellie was getting a lot of hate online, actually, just about who she was. Like, not even based off her character, but people were just like hating her about like how she looked. And I saw like people were like, it was like a lot of backlash on her.
That's so terrible.
I want to say,
leave kids alone. That's the same thing with the Kenobi series. People were down in the little girl that was playing Leia. Like, Jesus Christ, people. She's like
these
10
are
years
children.
old, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you want her to do?
Like how listen, I see. Look, when I said the previous episode, because somebody come for me, I said I didn't like her because it's her character. Everything was character based off of the character she portrayed. Because obviously she wasn't the little girl that I grew attached to the first 15 minutes of the first show of Last of Us, right? And it was his daughter. But the fact that someone would go and trash her for how she looks or who she is as a person, actually, she can't change that. No. And that's fucked up. It's so fucked up. People got to do better.
Awesome. But you know what it is?
She's
I think
great.
And
she get more money than you. She was in that Game of Thrones money, and now Last of Us is right there. So y'all just hate because she got her pocket's fatter. Y'all can talk all the shit y'all want, but guess what? She's still sitting on all that cheddar. And you starving, buddy.
If you broke and you joking and clowning a millionaire, the joke is on you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what it is. J. Cole said it best. J. Cole said it best. But yeah, so Tess, we found out she gets bitten. He shoots the one that's on the ground. The thing travels like how CJ said, and all of them they wake up and just start running towards him. And then Tess is like, I'll hold them off for you, starts dumping all the stuff. And then Tess is the most disgusting thing in my life. Let that thing kiss
pause.
You see
pause.
Yeah, confused.
Now before we go there,
right?
The reveal of the clicker was so, because I guess we never really saw them up close, right? So it was like you saw the dudes from the distance, and they would kind of like shout at the end of episode 1, like, "Oh yeah, these motherfuckers are past the wall. It is feeding time." But then when the clicker was just up close, and you could see the detail of like the cauliflower fungus, like it was so grotesque.
Yes,
that's what I'm trying to say. that's what I got so uncomfortable because it's like looking at, like I've never seen someone I'm like, yo, I do not feel safe. And like they did a phenomenal job. Like that is why I know like this show is killing it. And also watching the behind the episode where they talk about how much they went back and forth for designing the clickers. And that was like an important part of their discussions of making people uncomfortable, making people like they went back and forth. Like they went closer to the idea of what originally to the game. They were trying to like go a little bit away from it, but I think what the game already did was perfect, and they had one of the best prosthetic people to design it, and he knocked it right out the park.
100%.
I was about to ask, in the game, so can you see them? Or is it still like do they show them like this, or is it just
No idea?
I mean, no idea. But like, you see more of like the human ones.
Mm.
So
this was just like out of somebody on this show's brain for them to look like that?
Well,
No,
okay.
I think
the clickers
I don't know.
is
I just
from
never
the
played
game, but they were designing. They were like trying to see if they wanted to do how much they want to stray away from the game.
Oh, I got you.
Because they talked about how
I
they
got
try to
you.
stray away from a little bit, where instead of like, I think they were getting chased by the military, the clickers are chasing them. So in the game, the military is chasing these two, Ellie and Tess and Joel, versus they're running away from these people who are infected. So that's like a big difference.
So,
in the movie.
what were you confused on?
Yeah, why'd she let it kiss her?
Because she's already infected. There's no way to save her. And then that's the way slowing them down.
So she was just opens her mouth and is like,
yes,
like
they even clip her mouth closed. She let that shit come in her mouth. She a freak. Let's just say it. She a freak.
She said, "Spit in my mouth. Look at my eyes."
I was like straight nasty because that's like that was like the cherry on top at the end. It was just like, oh my, like yeah, that was the cherry on top at the end.
It was too much. I was sitting here like my blanket was up to here, and I was like, I was screaming to myself.
But I thought it was cool how like they didn't run to her. You know what I'm saying? Because they just knew that she was already infected. So that's why he just went up to her like casually, like, all right, we're just gonna fasten this little process. We ain't gonna wait.
But
forever.
Hey, he felt the moment and he knew it was the right time to kiss her.
Damn. Full circle. Crazy. But the detail in the fungus,
and then he blew, and then she blew him up because she didn't want it. You see, she didn't kiss him right.
I don't know. It seemed to me like she wanted that. That's why I was.
It was sparks. That's for sure. Am I right?
It was. Sparks are flying.
Yeah,
but yeah. So what were your? So Gabby, what were your thoughts on this whole episode?
This one went a lot quicker than the first one. Like when it ended,
52
I was
minutes
like,
bless. Yes.
Like I like the screen went black and I was like, wait, is it over? It's over? Oh, okay. So now I'm like finally realizing that I'm actually getting more into it than the first episode. Because on the first one, I still was kind of like, I'm not sure if this is something I'm gonna be, interested in. But now it's pulling me in. It's pulling me. As uncomfortable as I was this episode, it's pulling me in. It does give me, like I said, I watched Walking Dead, and it's giving me those kind of vibes, like early Walking Dead when it was good. So I'm here for it.
I think personally, I just hope that for me to stay engaged in it, I don't want them to have a clicker or some type of being in every episode. Like, I want to understand where she came from, what's been happening to Joel this whole time. Where's Joel's brother? We still got to figure out what happened to that. Like, I don't need a clicker in every one. That's just me. I don't need it.
I think you will.
I want to understand.
But, like, I get it.
Yeah, I think they have to have them in every one.
I don't want it up close and personal like that every time.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need that. I don't need, someone else gets bit and they got to make out with the thing. I don't want to see that 24/7. That's just not me. You know, because like I told y'all before, I don't do the scary, suspenseful stuff. That's not me. But it was my idea to watch this because I want to get over that. But this last episode, I was like, all right, you definitely put the bar high, and you almost had me say, I don't want to do this anymore. Not me looking over there and making sure nothing comes out of the gun.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was
And
wild. It was a wild episode.
So I had a question for you, CJ. Do you think that they killed Tess off too early? They could have strayed away from the game and just gone a little bit deeper. But no, I can't ask you that because you already hated her for some reason. You just don't like her.
Well, no, I still think that I feel like there was still some storyline you could have with her. You could continue to build up that tension between her and the girl. But you did start this like once I think she got bit, you could see her changing a little bit of how she kind of like had like she kind of related to the girl for like a split second. I want to see that storyline drawn out a little bit longer because like now she felt like her when she got bitten and she was trying to like rush, like hurry up and find it. Let's go to this place. Let's get here. Versus like we don't even know what's out there. Like we need to go back. That's what Joel's like. We need to go back. It's not safe. Like why are we pushing this? And I think there was a lot more, but I think we're really going to see who the stars are between Joel and Ellie. Mm-hmm. And obviously, The Last of Us, everyone's going to die, but it's like how I guess the relationship between those two, I think, is really going to be pivotal. If maybe the brother plays a bigger role later down the road, if we figure out if anything is to come with his brother. But yeah, I do feel like they probably could have make it last a little bit longer, but I don't know how many episodes are going to be this season. So maybe it fit their arc that they're having.
Yeah.
So, and I just hope.
I'm honestly. Oh.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm honestly okay. This sounds terrible, but I'm okay with them killing her off this quickly because now I feel like what's his name, Joel and what's the little girl's name? Ellie. I feel like now their relationship is going to be able to like form a little more. And that's what I'm waiting for. Like I'm waiting for them to have that moment where it's like, oh, okay, I see, like his soft side finally coming back out. Like I'm waiting for that moment. So I feel like by them killing her off now, that might come sooner. I don't know.
Which I think it has to because it's redemption for him in his relationship with his daughter that he didn't So obviously she's like the same age as her daughter was. So I think that obviously showing that his daughter died, like the first thing we watch, I think that is what they really showed us in front of her face. Like, hey, this is a relationship that we're going to exploit. And obviously we kind of got a glimpse of that when he fought that in episode 1, he fought that security guy outside the wall. And he just did not, like he had 20 years of punches like loaded up and ready to go on his ass. Like, and it was just like he let it out. So you can start to see him slowly starting to heal from his trauma. So I think it is the best case for him to not have a buffer between him and this girl to really like jump straight into this relationship because you have to protect her. I wasn't able to protect my own daughter. So like this is my redemption to protect a young being who needs somebody.
I mean, didn't Tess even say that? She was like, save somebody, or she was like, save who you can, or something like that. I can't remember what she said. But
and they hauled ass right. She said that.
Yeah.
He said. Because that's the thing too, like, because these people who are possessed with the fungus, if I'm not mistaken, they're not dead. Right?
That's another thing I was confused
over their mind. It's just taking over their minds and body. So like it's just like controlling them. It's just controlling them. They're not dead.
Because that's why they can run so fast and do all this stuff.
Yeah,
right?
fast as shit.
Literally.
Like crazy.
So I'm waiting for two things to happen.
Life.
I'm waiting for two things to happen in the show. One, I'm waiting for Joel's brother to be like, "Oh, forget this little girl, whatever." And then Joel says, like, no. The brother's like, "Let her go. She's not such and such." Like saying like his daughter, like let her go. I'm waiting for him to say that. I just feel like that's gonna happen in the show. And then the second thing is with shows like this, with all these different zombies or whatever you want to call them, somehow in the show they're gonna get smarter and like know how to shoot a gun or whatever. I just feel like something's gonna happen, and I'm waiting for that flip. And I'm not ready for that flip because then it's gonna be different. But I'm just I'm ready for that flip, 100%. That's what I'm waiting on. I could care less about their little dynamic a little bit, but It'll happen just because you got to take care of her. He doesn't have to.
I'm proud of
She-
myself for actually watching a popular show while it's airing with everybody else because I hate watching popular shows with other
Yeah.
people while it's airing. I like to watch it by myself. Like, oh, that show ain't good. I'm like, oh, that shit's really good. You know what I mean? I don't want to admit it. Like, but this show is really good. Like, it's something. It's like Christian said. Like, this is something I don't seek to watch. Like, I'm not a. I do like thrillers. I don't like weird shit. You know, most of the time. Like, I've seen a lot of weird shit. Trust me, I've seen my fair share of weird stuff, but it's not something I seek out to watch.
100%.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't seeking. If you guys hadn't said, "Hey, let's watch this," I would not have watched this. But I mean, now I'm kind of happy I am because it is really good. So
Yeah.
look at us growing.
Who would have thought?
Who would have
Not
thought?
me.
Not me.
So Audrey, I know you're not
What is
caught
it?
up with us, but like watching the first you see the first episode, right?
Yeah, I was doing homework at the same time, so I like a little bit of tuning in and out, but I understand the gist because I've seen like the game. I've watched playthroughs of the game. So I already
Sure.
kind of know like the direction I think things are heading towards. I think it's going to be really interesting to see just how far they're willing to push, like how exactly different it is, because people seem to be like purists when there's an original of something and this like a spin-off or any
Right.
sort of shoot off. Like I don't know if you heard or like if you know about like Netflix had a live action Cowboy Bebop, and it was an anime and they had a live action, and people were like they hated it, got canceled after one season because it didn't follow along as closely. And I think I'm interested to see if they want to sort of shoot it into its own thing. They want to go into some new territory, maybe bring up plot lines that weren't even included in the game. So I'm really interested to see how far they're willing to push that envelope and how receptive people are to them doing that.
And I just don't understand why people are like that. And anyways, like,
It-
why do you like
I don't
want
know.
like to me being a comic book person? It's like Marvel changes a lot of things, and it's like, you know what, like, okay, cool, because like, why would I want to? It's like, why would you want to read something or play like a game or something, knowing exactly what's going to happen, and then watch it when you have already
Yeah.
lived it and watched it in your own mind? Why would you want to go on a big screen and be like, yep, and this has happened, this is going to happen, 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 and then it's like, why would you want that? And then it's
Yeah.
like everyone has this like this imagination of what this person's supposed to look like on the real screen or whatever it may be, and it's just like, sorry if they didn't pick the person that you thought that they should have gotten because they looked like this person. Like me,
Yeah.
like with the Ahsoka series, like I didn't think, what was her name, Rosia? I don't remember her name. I didn't think she should have played it, but it's like, it doesn't matter. Like they're
Yeah,
gonna do the story.
yeah. You're not gonna stop watching it and boycott
Yeah,
it
it's
and
like,
like
you can't
ask for
not
people to
watch it.
cancel it. You're just like,
For what?
okay, not what I had in mind.
Exactly. But
So
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them, and most people stink.
how long has been in your vault? How long has that been in your vault?
Like 30 seconds.
Figure.
That should have been what we
But
ended
yeah.
on right there.
No, but I get it. Like everyone wants to see a certain thing happen, and it just not everyone can be happy, and that's life.
That's
100%.
life.
But yeah, this show's great. This show's
It is
great.
really good.
Last of Us is great. There's so much great content out here. We're obviously having great content. And yeah, I think I'm all out of content for the night, Christian.
Are you?
So I think we should
Wrap it up.
make like sushi.
Roll it up and smoke it. Got it. Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of What a Dud. We are glad that you were here to listen to it. And what's so funny now? Jesus, what happened? Something happened? Did I say something wrong?
We're
No.
having a moment.
No.
Leave us alone. Okay?
Yeah, no, it's good.
As usual.
Something about smoking sushi, and then
Yeah, just that.
You made a funny
Uh,
joke, Christian, and people are laughing at your joke. Let people enjoy your joke. God damn it! Wrap this show up.
Thank you for watching another episode of What a Dud. I am Christian. That is CJ. That is Gabby. And thank you again, Audrey, for joining the show. We really, really appreciate it. And you guys give us your opinions and thoughts on episode 2 of The Last of Us on our Twitter at What a Dud Pod. And you can check us out on YouTube and every podcast platform at What a Dud. Check us out. Tell us what you think. And we'll see you on the next episode here very, very soon. You guys have a great night, morning, or whenever you're watching it. Have a great day.